What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Wrestle News 365. We are live. How is everybody doing? Elimination Chamber 2022. We're about, just under an hour to go until Elimination Chamber goes live on the air from the Jeddah Superdome in Saudi Arabia. So for this first hour, of course, we're going to do a bit of build-up, go through some predictions, some thoughts, a bit of Q&A, I guess, as well. Just whatever you guys want it to be. These watch-alongs are always a lot of fun. I've got my WWE Network, because it's still the WWE Network here in the UK, guys, not Peacock. For how long, we don't know. So I've got my WWE Network in front of me. I'll be guiding you through Elimination Chamber. Also, once Elimination Chamber is off the air, we'll be talking, we'll go straight to a post-show reaction stream as well. We'll talk about all of the matches, how it sets up the future, etc., etc. So we got a lot of fun to get into today. Also, as well, Elimination Chamber isn't going to be the only reason that I'm live today as well, by the way. For the Impact Wrestling fans, which I know there are several here on the channel, I'm also going to be live later tonight for a No Surrender watch along and a No Surrender post-show reaction stream as well. So we've got a lot of fun today. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's a great day of pro wrestling. It's a Saturday filled with pro wrestling, which I enjoy. The thing is, what I was about to say is that the only good thing about these Saudi shows is that, you know, it's done at a reasonable time for us over here in the UK, but you know, that's like by the by, because to be honest, when you really dig into it, you know, these eliminations, these Saudi events, WWE are just, not great. They're not great. It's one of those things where you have to go, there's a reason people still don't go out there despite the amount of money that they're given. A really interesting fact here is what Brandon Thurston tweeted a few days ago, about a week ago. And I think it's really worth pointing out when it comes to these events. So Brandon Thurston, if you're not familiar, WrestleNomics, he's the guy to go to when it comes to ratings, revenue streams, quarterly results, all that kind of stuff. He's the numbers guy, the de facto numbers guy. He's very good at it. He said, WWE gets paid by the Saudi government $50 million, 3 times the biggest WrestleMania gate ever for every event in the country. So what we're looking at is potentially, if they do 2 events, I think they're building up to 3 Saudi events per year, they're looking at $150 million for 3 events, which is 3 times what their biggest event of the year does. That's why they go out there. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. WWE, you know, the reason they go there is because the money they make from 2 Saudi shows per year represents 10% of WWE's annual revenue. Do you know how crazy that is? 10% of all the money that WWE makes all year is from 2 shows. 2 shows. 2 like nights work makes up to 10% of their annual revenue. It's absolutely madness, and that's why they go there, and that's why we have these kind of events. Now, they did also say that they're shifting more towards, they mentioned this in the Q4 earnings call that they did recently, that they're moving more towards what they called a stadium focused approach. So we're seeing more stadium shows this year than I think we ever have in WWE history. We had the Rumble inside a stadium. We've got Saudi Arabia inside Saudi Arabia. We've got Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia inside a stadium. We've got WrestleMania nights 1 and 2 inside of a stadium. We've got Money in the Bank inside of a stadium. We've got SummerSlam inside a stadium. We've also got this rumoured UK show, which when it's over here is going to be inside a stadium. We're looking at potentially like 7 stadium shows this year. 7, count them there, 7 stadium shows. It's madness. And WWE, it's strange, isn't it? It's odd, because I mentioned this before. If you watch the product, if you watch the week-to-week product, you look at it and go, oh, like some of these shows aren't great, but they're making more money than they ever have in their history of their company. It was the first time last year that they broke $1 billion in terms of revenue. And I saw a report by, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Wade Keller, who is a bit of a weird name at the moment. But Wade Keller said that, you know, the perspective of Vince McMahon when he looks at WWE right now. And I can almost understand it, in fairness to Vince, where he goes, well, what's wrong with WWE in terms of the product at the moment? We made $1 billion last year. Now, most rational people would look at it and say, wow, actually, you made $1 billion, but you could make way more if your product was actually good. But hey, that's by the by. That's not the big philosophical discussion we want to get into, a couple of minutes in to this watch along. Ash Sims is with us. He says, "Hey Owen, hope you're doing well. So glad I don't have to destroy my sleep schedule to watch a pay-per-view." It's true, isn't it? I think some people don't. The fans in the United States or other points in the world, I guess, sometimes don't, I guess, realize how fortunate they are when it comes to pro wrestling, that they watch Raw every week. It's at 8 p.m. or SmackDown every week, 8 p.m. Every pay-per-view, 8 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever it may be, and it's part of the schedule. Whereas over here, if you want to watch pro wrestling, you've got to be a night owl. You've got to be willing to stay up from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. when it's Raw, or 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. when it's SmackDown, and same with AEW, and with pay-per-views it's the same as well. I think that's why a lot of people, especially over here in the UK, like the Saturday pay-per-view model better, because at least they've got a day. The chances are, I mean, not everyone works, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, but chances are they can actually, recover and actually have the next day to sleep or what have you. But a lot of people, prefer it. I do enjoy these kind of times, but I also do look at it as, obviously, doing a lot of the football coverage on United View. I look at it that way as well. There are American fans or fans all around the world that get up at ridiculous times or stay up to ridiculous times to watch football. Whether it's 7 a.m. in the morning, 1:30 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever time it may be, to watch a game of football, and sometimes the football isn't great as well. So it's kind of the same as it is with WWE, frankly, in that, sometimes fans in America might look at UK fans and go, "Man, you're staying up to 4 a.m. to watch Raw? It's terrible," all this kind of stuff. Sometimes we have the same kind of thing, right, where we look at it and we go, what, you're staying up to like 3 a.m. in the morning to watch Manchester United play? We're playing terrible at the moment, but you do it because you love it, right? You do it because you love it, and you do it because you enjoy watching what you're watching. Or just seeing some highlights of Rhea Ripley on Raw. See that riptide on on Doudrop and Piper Niven. I'm a big fan of Piper Niven, big fan of Doudrop. I think I was really the match she had at the Rumble with Becky Lynch was unfortunate, wasn't it? It certainly was really unfortunate considering. The sign set on fire and all that kind of stuff, and very frustrating. I didn't get the booking of that as well when it came to that gauntlet match on Raw on Monday. So basically, Rhea Ripley does all the hard work. Bianca Belair comes in, KOD gets the win overall, and then holds up Rhea Ripley's hand after the match. For me, feels really heelish for someone you want to challenge, that's probably going to win the match and challenge Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. But that's WWE booking. Mary says, "Hello Owen, how are you?" I'm great, Mary. Hope you're doing well also. Says, "I live an hour plane ride from Saudi. Here it's 8 p.m. Saturday night. Perfect time. It's perfect time, and I'm looking forward to the show, certainly. I think that, Crown Jewel last year, probably, to be honest, Crown Jewel in October last year was probably the best Saudi show that WWE's done, I think, since they've begun that relationship back in 2018. Initially, those Saudi shows were glorified house shows, weren't they? Gimmicked up house shows, the Greatest Royal Rumble, all that kind of stuff. They were just glorified house shows with no real substance to wider storyline. And they've sort of expanded. And I think WWE has probably realized, actually, these are our most profitable shows of the year. We make more money in these shows than we do in any other show. We should probably go all out. And that's what they do. And so that's what we're getting. That's certainly what we got in October, and that's what we're getting this evening for Elimination Chamber. First ever Elimination Chamber match and event, by the way, to take place in Saudi Arabia, so that's significant as well. But let's get into the matches. Ashton says, Liverpool losing to Norwich. Is that true? I see that Arsenal are beating Brentford, which isn't good for United. I mean, I always felt that Arsenal were going to win today, to be honest. Brentford are at home. They should be winning that one. West Ham drop points, though. Newcastle are staying up, aren't they? And in fairness, I think you do have to give so much credit to Eddie Howe, because I think he has done a great job, and he's a good coach. He is a very good coach. I think he learned a lot from getting relegated with Bournemouth, in that you've got to be pragmatic sometimes. It does help when you've got a lot of money to spend. Newcastle spent more money than anyone in January, so they should have a bounce. But they played well today, certainly. Arsenal not dropping points is a bit frustrating. I haven't seen the Liverpool one yet. Hopefully it'll come up on the screen in a second. I am kind of cheating today, guys. I've also got the the scores going out next to me because it's a normal Saturday. Thank God, by the way, that Man United didn't have a game. Oh, they are. Rashika, 1-0 Norwich. Wow, it's just frustrating as a United fan because it's obviously great to see Liverpool losing. By the way, they'll come back, but it's great to see Liverpool losing. But it doesn't mean anything to us in terms of United because we're not challenging them at the moment. We're nowhere near them. So you'd prefer like someone like Arsenal to lose today. But it is what it is. Let's get to the matches. Let's get to some of the matches, get some predictions, get your predictions up on the screen as well. Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. Now, this is a match that I could care less. Like, I really could care less about this one. Who actually cares? Like, it's a TV feud going on Raw. I just always determined it as, you know, the Rey Mysterio is a WWE legend. We know that the Saudi shows, the Saudi royal family, the Saudi government like to have the legends on the show, like Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio's on the show. The Miz as well, established star. It's a match. It's a match to have the show. I suppose also as well, you've got to have, in any big card, you have to have those moments or those matches that are like, I don't want to say filler because that's disrespectful to both guys who are legends, but you have to have those matches that people can come down from. And especially considering there are quite a few big matches, you need those matches, again, where they can sort of come down a little bit. And that's kind of, I guess, what this match is. As to who wins, I mean, how long have they been teasing Rey Mysterio and his son splitting up? People thought that was going to happen in the Rumble. It didn't. All that stuff that they were doing heading into the Rumble, nothing really came of it, which was typical for the Royal Rumble, frankly. I think The Miz will win, but in the grand scheme of things, does it actually matter? Realistically, does it actually matter? The answer is no. So I'm going to go with The Miz winning that one. And next up, we have SmackDown Tag Team titles. We've got the Usos defending against the Viking Raiders. Again, this will be a match. Usos always deliver a good match. The Viking Raiders, good tag team. I'm a big fan of the Viking Raiders. I think their matches are great. I think they do great stuff and they have great matches. Again, it's one of those matches whereby it's the case of, well, they're not going to win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I would be really surprised, considering that, you know, the Bloodline runs SmackDown, and the whole point of the Bloodline being back together now with Paul Heyman back in the mix is you've got all the titles. To scupper that and drop them to the Viking Raiders, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. I would more look at it as, I think that if they're going to drop the tag titles, they would drop it to something that involved whoever Roman Reigns was facing at the time. And I don't think that they're going to drop the titles to Brock Lesnar or anything like that. I could see something maybe after WrestleMania where it looks like Roman Reigns is going to probably feud with someone like Drew McIntyre for the Universal Championship. I could see maybe McIntyre winning the titles off of them with a partner or something like that. Maybe his old tag team partner, Cody Rhodes. Because remember, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre were tag team champions. Interesting. I could see maybe them doing something like that. But I don't see the Usos losing this one tonight. So the Usos will retain their SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, Falls Count Anywhere match, Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. Again, like, who cares? There are several matches on this show, like I said, that are very much just, they will be in between to fill things out. Like the Mysterio Miz match is to fill things out. SmackDown Tag Titles is a match to have to get the Usos on the show, but they're winning. They're winning that one. Falls Count Anywhere, they have to tell this story because, of course, McIntyre, this is what was crazy. When McIntyre had that match, was announced that match of McIntyre versus Madcap Moss for day one, everyone went, really? Why? Then eventually it was like, okay, he defeats McIntyre. McIntyre had a legit neck injury, so they had to write him out. And I guess it's just wrapping that up. I have a bit of a concern now. I was thinking about this earlier on. I do have a bit of concern for Drew McIntyre in the sense that I'm looking at WrestleMania on the horizon and I just can't think what he's going to be doing at WrestleMania. I can't see it. He's a big name. I think people almost forget because of the way that he's, I guess, been booked for the last maybe year or so, maybe not year, coming out of WrestleMania last year, so just under a year or so, he's been booked so badly that you forget how much momentum he had, And he carried Raw during the pandemic. He was the WWE champion on that brand for practically the entire Thunderdome era. That entire era of having no fans there, Drew McIntyre was essentially the champion. Yes, you had Randy Orton for a couple of weeks, but it was Drew McIntyre, basically. You had Bobby Lashley for a little bit after him, but for the majority of it, it was Drew McIntyre. And it felt like he was the next big babyface. He was the next big babyface. I don't know if he was ever going to be the heir apparent to John Cena, but he was going to be one of those next. If Roman Reigns is the top guy in the company, Drew McIntyre was going to be the next number 2. Or Reigns was going to be the SmackDown top guy, McIntyre was going to be the Raw top guy. And I just don't really know what happened. People started to turn on him, certainly, but that was no fault of Drew McIntyre's. That was the fault of WWE being incapable of booking a top babyface champion. They still can't do it. They fail every single year or every single time they've tried it. They failed to an extent since John Cena. I mean, it worked in the end because they just were relentless with him, and eventually people respect Cena, and Cena's so great that even despite at times horrible writing and horrible character development, he's just so good he managed to make it work to an extent. But WWE can't book a top babyface champion. They have failed so many times. Roman Reigns, let's face it, they failed. I mean, he was a big star, but they failed. It's now he's being, lauded as one of the greatest, stars in recent times in WWE because of his heel work. That's because fans wanted to see him as a heel. They tried it with Seth Rollins as a top babyface. They turned on him because they can't book a top babyface. They tried it with Big E, and in fairness, Big E never stood a chance. It wasn't, the fans didn't even turn on him. They just decided it wasn't working, which I don't think was fair. But they tried it with McIntyre. They just shove things down your throat, and they make someone feel a top babyface. He's meant to be a good guy. They make him feel so unlikable that people turn, and then they blame the babyface. They go, it's your fault that the fans didn't like you in the end. Well, guess what? You're writing my stuff. You're booking my storylines, and guess what? It sucks. And that's the problem. And, now he's in a match with someone like Madcap Moss, and it's like, again, but he was WWE's a 2-time champion. He was, he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. That was meant to be in a stadium, but it wasn't, but he still won the match. He beat Goldberg, and they had him go over in big matches. And I look at him now, I look at WrestleMania, and I say, who on earth is he going to face? If this is all a build to Drew McIntyre facing Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, what a joke. And I think it is. That's the problem, because when has he faced Happy Corbin? He's facing Madcap Moss twice, day one, Elimination Chamber. So it looks like he's going to be facing Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, and just what a ridiculousness. What an absolute ridiculousness. So I don't know. I really don't know about that one. So I think, like I said, I think he's going to feud with Reigns coming out of WrestleMania, because Reigns is going to win at WrestleMania, as he's going to win tonight. But yeah, it's WrestleMania, Happy Corbin versus Drew McIntyre, because that's what they're going towards. Just who cares? I mean, really, who cares about that one? So Drew McIntyre will win tonight. I'm sure Happy Corbin will get involved. His falls count anywhere, which means no disqualification, etc. But again, really, who gives a damn? And there are a couple of matches on this show where it's who gives a damn, frankly. We have the Women's Elimination Chamber match, the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match to take place in Saudi Arabia, of course. This is the most females ever participating on a Saudi show, by the way, too, which is great to see. And the winner, of course, wins a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 38, likely to be facing Becky Lynch. I would be stunned if Lita won, but we'll get to that in a second. So you've got Alexa Bliss, who of course is returning, first time since Extreme Rules last year, since the rip-up of Lily. After going through psychotherapy, Alexa Bliss is back on inside of a WWE ring. There's going to be Rhea Ripley in there as well. Doudrop, Nikki, A.S.H, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan. The positive thing, I suppose, about this one is there is a couple that could win. The likely one is Bianca Belair, and I think that's the right one. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch looks to be the plan for WrestleMania. I think that once they decided to go Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair this year, then it was the reason they went that route is because it's really important that Bianca Belair gets her win back against Becky Lynch. They had that match at SummerSlam, the 30-second match, and the idea was, well, eventually they can build to a Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch match. Bianca Belair will win that one, and she's absolutely cemented bona fide big star. She won a WrestleMania main event last year. She beat Sasha Banks at WrestleMania last year. She'll beat Becky Lynch in a big match at WrestleMania this year in front of a crowd too. That's a big deal. She's solidified as a big star. And they sort of think, actually, we can do Rousey versus Lynch for the first time ever one-on-one next year. Also at the same event that we're going to be doing The Rock versus Roman Reigns. They're big matches. This could be the biggest WrestleMania of all time, which I think their hope is. SoFi Stadium's a ginormous stadium. It's an unbelievable stadium as well. So I think that makes sense. And so because of that, it looks like Bianca Belair wins tonight. I mean, there are arguments certainly to be made of maybe Alexa Bliss winning. Alexa Bliss, obviously, big star, big name, big merch mover. We're going to see what version of Alexa Bliss we're going to, this next new version of Alexa Bliss. We've seen the psychotherapy stuff. We've seen her, I guess, try and move on from the Fiendess version of Alexa Bliss. We've seen that. But I wonder how close she's going to be, because she still technically does have the ripped up parts of Lily, the doll, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a possibility. I mean, let's face it, on paper, Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss is a huge match. Two very recognizable names. I don't know if it's the right match to have, but then you do look at Alexa Bliss and you say, well, what's she going to be doing at WrestleMania? Now, I do see, Sasha Banks looking like she doesn't have a match. You could possibly do Bliss versus Banks, or you could do a match that I do think it has potential. I think that we could see Bayley return, and I think you could see Banks and Bayley versus maybe the Bella Twins, maybe another tag team, maybe versus Lita and Trish or something like that. You could see something like that, do a big one for the women's tag titles. The issue with that is that the women's tag titles means nothing. I mean, really, it means nothing. Oh, Liverpool 2-1 ahead. See, that's the thing with Liverpool, is that previously it was like, well, United at the moment, if you go 1-0 down, you're like, oh, God, we're going to lose. Whereas if Liverpool go 1-0 down or Chelsea go 1-0 down, you're like, oh, they're going to come back. So it don't matter, which is certainly frustrating. But we'll move on. We'll talk about the tag team match with Ronda Rousey back in the ring once again. Obviously, she returned to action at the Royal Rumble, but this is the first, I guess, proper match she's been involved in. Not that the Royal Rumble isn't a proper match, because it is, but the first sort of, normal, shall we say, match. She's teaming up with Naomi to face Charlotte Flair, of course, her WrestleMania opponent, and Sonya Deville. The stipulation that Ronda Rousey has one arm tied behind her back. Why? I don't know. Maybe just because they don't want to give away Rousey versus Flair at all. But then, if that's the case, if that's the rationale, this is what I don't get about it. If that's the rationale, we just really don't want to give away Rousey versus Flair. We don't want to give that match away till WrestleMania. Don't book this match then. Do Ronda Rousey versus Sonya Deville. Do something different, right? Or they're like, well, we don't actually want to have Ronda Rousey's proper in-ring appearance until WrestleMania. Then again, don't book the match. Have her be like a special referee. Do something instead of having her actually work the match. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Now, it might be a case of she's been given the one arm tied behind the back gimmick as an out that her team will lose. So I could see a situation where either Charlotte Flair pins Naomi, or maybe even Sonya Deville pins Naomi. We could see that. Or obviously we could just see Ronda Rousey defeat Sonya Deville. Either way, Ronda Rousey doesn't pin Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair definitely doesn't pin Ronda Rousey, because how would you book the WrestleMania match because of that? You wouldn't. So as to who wins, that one could go either way. Legitimately could go either way. I would probably lean more towards Ronda getting the win, because they want her to have momentum, I guess, heading into WrestleMania. That's what they'll probably want to see. But I could see either happening. Really good. Raw Women's Championship, a bit of a dream match, obviously. You've got Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship against Lita, WWE Hall of Famer. Again, it's very obvious who's going to win this one. In the same way for the Universal Championship, it's very obvious who's going to win. Lita is not winning the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch is going to retain and likely going to be facing Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. That's what we're going to get towards. My sort of thing would be, how good is this match going to be? Because I think that's a really interesting conversation to have. How good is this match realistically going to be? And I don't say that as any disrespect to Lita. I just mean it as, I think the standard's been raised a lot when it comes to women's wrestling over the course of the last, I mean, nearly a decade now, right? But yeah, certainly maybe the last 8 or 10 years, the standard and quality of women's wrestling side. I'm not saying Lita's a bad wrestler because she's not, but it's going to be curious, very curious about this one. I mean, in fairness, the Charlotte Flair Stratus match, which is, I guess, a similar kind of thing, I thought SummerSlam in 2019 was a great match. It'll be interesting to see if it's the same here. To be honest, out of the four horsewomen of WWE, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Becky Lynch, the argument I would make is probably Becky Lynch in terms of in-ring is probably the worst out of those four. She's the best on the mic. She's the biggest star. She's probably the best character. But in terms of in-ring work, I would say that Bayley, Banks, and Flair are quite far ahead, actually. So I'm curious as to what this match is going to look like, the quality of this one. So, and we've kind of seen this over the course of the last few years, haven't we? Especially with these Saudi shows, is that dream matches are great in theory. Dream matches are great in your dreams. Dream matches are great when you discuss them. It's another thing to actually see them. It's part of my problem when it comes to like Stone Cold Steve Austin for this WrestleMania 38 rumor. There's one thing on paper, it's another thing to see it happen. You know, DX versus the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker versus Goldberg, etc. Now, obviously, that's when you've got two, legends facing off, and that isn't the case here. And the idea is that the younger, present talent can sort of drag the legend through it, I suppose. But we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that one. But I think Becky Lynch wins. WWE Championship Elimination Chamber. Bobby Lashley defends against Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Riddle, and AJ Styles. Of course, it's Brock Lesnar's first time inside of an Elimination Chamber. This is a bit of a tangent, and I'll probably say this a million times during the stream as well, but I miss the old Elimination Chamber. The new one, like new anything, like new Coke, like new whatever, the new Midnight Express, it's never as good, is it? It's just not. And like the old Elimination Chamber, I get it. The reason they actually did change it is because it was easier to hang it above the arenas. The old Elimination Chamber had to be hung a certain way, and more modern arenas didn't have those facilities to do that. They also changed it to make it significantly safer for the talent, because the old Elimination Chamber was brutal. But that's why I liked it. It had no padding on the outside. It was just steel grate. Every time people were in it, they legitimately got hurt. But it was brutal, and he felt brutal. It was one of those things where it was like getting hit with a chair. It's like, well, there's no faking it. It just hurts. And now it's a case of the Elimination Chamber in reality is not that dangerous, and I enjoyed the danger. I think that's why people like TLC matches and ladder matches, because the danger is very real. And Elimination Chamber now, it's just not as dangerous. Again, it's padded outside, it's smaller, it's sort of it's instead of being circular, it's sort of more square, rectangle, and I don't know. I understand also if you don't know any better, or if you haven't really seen the old one, you'd be like, oh, the new one's fine. But the old one I thought was way better because it had a real danger, as opposed to now it doesn't really have that kind of level of danger anymore. Nevertheless, that's a massive tangent. As to who wins this one, I think we're going to see a new WWE champion tonight. It's going to be Brock Lesnar once again becoming WWE champion. It looks like we're getting that title versus title match at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman reportedly are pushing heavily for that title versus title match. That's what we're going to get. It's another way to put over Roman Reigns in a big way. It's also, I think, the right thing. I know some people are saying, no, that match doesn't need to be title versus title, but it kind of does. It does, because what other stakes do we have? We have seen Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns so many times. Granted, we have only seen babyface Brock versus Roman Reigns, heel versus heel Roman Reigns. We've only seen that once. Obviously, that was Crown Jewel. But you need to add something to it. It needs to escalate. It needs to get bigger. And it's going to get bigger by being title versus title. I don't know if that unifies the championships, or I don't know if it's just winner take all. I don't know how they're going to do that, but it just makes it bigger, and I think it's the right move. Because also as well, from a WWE Championship perspective, what are you going to do for WrestleMania? And that WWE Championship match isn't going to mean that much. It certainly isn't going to feel that way. Now, some people would say maybe it'd be Cody Rhodes versus Bobby Lashley, and maybe that would be the way to make it feel big, but I don't think that's where they're going to go. I think also they booked Bobby Lashley to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at the Rumble, and it's at the time the plan was to have a single WWE Championship match at WrestleMania with Bobby Lashley defending against someone, but they didn't know. And then once Brock won the Rumble,
a couple of days later, they went, actually, put him in the chamber and he'll win it. Like a day later, they went, actually, we're going to make it title versus title. And that's how things change so quickly in WWE. So I think Brock wins the title again, and we get title versus title at WrestleMania. I really do. Now, it must be said, when it comes to Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes' name's going to come up a lot, obviously, today, and people are going to be talking, is Cody Rhodes going to appear and all that kind of stuff? To answer your question, I don't know. I really don't know if Cody Rhodes is or isn't going to appear. I think Kenny Omega did an interview on Wrestling Observer Radio, and he said that Cody Rhodes was on a flight to Saudi Arabia. We don't know if that's the case or not. I mean, it's a big show. It's WWE's most profitable show of the year, right before WrestleMania. It's going to be newsworthy in the sense that Brock's going to win the title. We've got legends appearing. It's probably Goldberg's last match ever. He's probably going to retire after this one, or certainly it's the last match on his contract. Having Cody come out is a big deal also, or having vignettes or something like that. Now, he could appear certainly on Monday on Raw also, but we'll see. We'll certainly see when it comes to that one. So, Brock Lesnar, I think, is going to win the WWE Championship in this match. Finally, we've got that main event, the match I spoke about. I don't actually know what the main event will be. I think actually it's a really good chance that the WWE Championship Chamber match will be the main event, because if this is the main event, it's lasting 3 minutes. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg is not going past 5. And I know, like the last couple of Goldberg matches, Goldberg versus Bobby at Crown Jewel last year did go past 5. I know that Goldberg versus Bobby at SummerSlam went past 5, and it was awful. It had no business being on that SummerSlam card. It was terrible. Every single time Goldberg tries to work a proper match, historically, it doesn't go well, let alone when he's in his 50s. So I have no interest in seeing this match go any longer than 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, we'll get a spear through the barricade, because we do. we do. But Roman Reigns wins. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did some kind of, retirement angle. I wouldn't be surprised if after the match, Roman Reigns sends a message, takes Goldberg out, something like that, because this is Goldberg's final match. He's got one more match left on his deal, which is this. He's been contracted to 2 matches per year, and this is his final match on his contract, because he did 3 last year. So he said he's open to signing a new deal with WWE. Whether or not he does, whether or not WWE wants to, Goldberg comes with a big price. He signed that contract, that new contract with WWE in 2019, when WWE had just signed the television rights deal at the end of 2018 to go for SmackDown on Fox, to have USA Network keep Monday Night Raw, but for more money than ever before. So when they were signing everyone, they had these Saudi shows as well, so they had this big talent budget increase. They signed Goldberg to a contract, 2 matches per year, and he's been kept to that contract since. But his contract now is running out, and whether or not he decides to go on, look, he's 55 years old, he's already had that Hall of Fame moment, so this theoretically could be Goldberg's last match. And from his point of view, what better way to go out than facing the top guy in WWE for the championship? You can say what you want about him having, all of these world championship opportunities. Lord knows we have and are, because it's ridiculous. But he's not winning the Universal Championship certainly tonight, and it could be his final match. Really a possibility that is going to be his final match, so we'll wait and see with that one, but I think that is going to be the case. I see Michael Cole, Corey Graves and Byron Saxton on the screen there, so we'll be having a match at the moment. Let's check him. So there's Corey Graves, Michael Cole, Byron Saxton. We might have a match on the pre-show. Oh, we do. It's the match that I thought was going to be on the pre-show. It's Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. We've got a match, guys. I'll put a poll in the chat. Here we go. Here comes The Miz, who leaves victorious. The Miz, Rey Mysterio. But out comes The Miz. Miz comes to the ring. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. See the set in front of us. Mark Riley says the new chamber is like a fenced dome as opposed to the original chain one. Yep. As Sim says, I kind of hope we see return at WrestleMania because no offense to the Saudi crowd, I don't think it would be a bigger moment. I think it would be a bigger moment at WrestleMania, referring to Cody Rhodes. But I mean, this makes sense that this would be on the pre-show because, again, who cares? I mean, really, who does care about this match? Certainly nobody. Seeing Chad Gable when he got the victory over the Mysterios when he pinned Dominic Mysterio this past Monday on Raw. Hopefully the WrestleMania sign doesn't get set on fire this evening as well. That would be a bit of a problem. %60 of you think that Rey Mysterio is going to defeat The Miz. I've got my drinks ready. Fairness to the crowd in Saudi Arabia, they're always red hot. Not because it's hot there in the desert. But this is the first show in the Jeddah Superdome. Not sure what the capacity is. But out comes Rey Mysterio. What's Dominic Mysterio wearing? Rey Mysterio wearing Saudi Arabia green on his gear. Mark Riley says, does anyone think Michael Cole is an underrated commentator? I think Michael Cole, for me, I never really had too much of a problem with him, to be honest. Part of the problem was always that he had to follow Jim Ross. Jim Ross is the greatest of all time, and Jim Ross is the voice of the Attitude Era, so obviously, that was always going to be difficult. Part of the problem with Michael Cole as well is that he has to recite some of this nonsense that Vince McMahon is having him say. And Vince McMahon, some of the things Vince McMahon has Michael Cole say is absolute ridiculousness. It's just, again, it's nonsense. So sometimes that's why people don't like Michael Cole also. Liverpool 3-1 up. Burnley winning 3-0 away to Brighton. Now, nobody would call that. They played well against United as well. It's a nice stadium, the Jeddah Superdome. Certainly not full yet by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, that should play to quite a few empty seats. I'm sure it will be sold out. I mean, usually they are. But yeah, people are still filing in. But the bell rings, and Miz attacks Mysterio straight away. Just stomping the hell out of Rey Mysterio there in the corner. And we got a million camera cuts already. Kevin done with all of the camera cuts. Go to camera 2, go to camera 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. Mark Riley says, I remember Austin refused to work Mania 15 main event unless JR called his match. That is true. That is true. In several Undertaker major matches in WrestleMania history, he insisted that Jim Ross call it. That's why Jim Ross called the WrestleMania 33 main event between The Undertaker and Roman Reigns, because it's meant to be The Undertaker's retirement match. And he went, I want Jim Ross to call my final match. Crowd chanting for Rey Mysterio, whipped off the ropes. Mysterio hits the ropes, beautiful Hurricane Rana. Oh, Mysterio's up. Mysterio, The Miz is set up for a 619, hits the ropes, and he gets out of the ring. Takes a breather. Classic Miz. Don't drop kick to the gut of The Miz sends Mike to the outside. Certainly the stadium, I mean, you can never... Oh, baseball slide under the bottom rope into a splash by Rey. Certainly the lighting of the Superdome does look great. I think that's the thing with WWE is that it's almost like sometimes it's just the creative that lets sometimes them down, because they're obviously from a production point of view it's unbelievable. You know, look how the way that dome is lit. It's incredible. And look at the graphics and look at the television production, but it's just... Oh, Dominic Mysterio throws The Miz right back into the ring. He's got Miz in the corner. He's going to be going for those punches. 2, 3, 4. Might as well call them the live event punches. If you go to a live event that isn't televised, you'll always get a spot. You get at least one spot. That's the punches in the corner. Oh, Miz just crotched Mysterio on the top rope, hanging upside down. He's in the proverbial tree of woe, as they'll call it. A couple of knees to the corner. Ash Sims says, I wonder when they're going to pull the gun on the Dominic heel turn. I wouldn't be shocked, Ash, if it's one of those things that they tease for years and years and years and then it never happens. Because, realistically, and I think it's one of those things as well that Mysterio and Dominic have fought against for ages. And then it was kind of a case of WWE going, no, we're doing it. And like with anything in WWE, then they don't follow through. And it's kind of the point of, like, I think Rey and Dominic sort of said, no, when we do it, we want it to mean something. We want to build to it properly. And now you get into this situation now where they've teased it a couple of times, but they don't have any intentions to pull it through, which was the problem that the Mysterios had with it in the first place. Mark Riley says, I used to love the West Coast pop finish, but Mysterio stopped doing it in 2004, I believe because of his knee issues, and it became too dangerous. Yeah, I used to like the West Coast pop finish. It was nice. In fairness, whilst it did look great, I did feel like the 619 into the splash was more emphatic. But you're right, he did it because of knee issues and knee injuries. I mean, he had several occasions where his knee braces at the time... it was back in the time where the knee braces were those big, clunky steel metal ones. I mean, talk about Cody Rhodes. That's how Cody Rhodes got the broken nose. That was legitimate. The knee brace smacked him in the face and his nose shattered. And Mysterio used to have that problem quite a few times, whereby he would hit the 619 and his knee braces would be so big and clunky that they would just smash people's faces, essentially. He still has the knee braces on. You can see him in this... in this outfit that he's got, but they're not the big clunky ones. He's just got knee pads and support on. Oh, Dominic Mysterio with the right hand to the Miz. Referee was distracted. Schoolboy roll up. Miz kicks out at 2. Oh, and a big boot to the face by the Miz to Rey Mysterio. The Miz looks furious. He's calling to the referee. We're going to get to a point where the referee catches Dominic Mysterio, aren't we? Or at the very least sends him to the back. Then it's going to be the anger. Why are you getting involved in my matches? I can't believe you're constantly getting involved. How dare you? One. The Miz going for the it kicks. It kicks, as with anything in WWE. When it's a move that is like kick, 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 or punch, 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 500 camera cuts. It's such a bugbear of mine, it really is. Reverse elbow by Mysterio. Kick to the face. Mysterio's going to go to the top rope, seemingly. No. Oh, big double feet to the face there by Mysterio. Going for a head scissors. Oh, head scissors sends the Miz into the steel ring post. Shoulder first. Mark Riley says, yeah, I agree, Owen. Best Mysterio matches were 97, 99 in WCW. Very true. Halloween Havoc 97 with the iconic purple gear. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. Unbelievable. Just such a great match. Chance of 619. Mysterio's going to the top rope. Seated senton. Hits the ropes. Springboard crossbody. Goes for a cover. The Miz kicks out. People still filing into the Superdome, it looks like. I mean, there's only 15 minutes left, so they're going to have to get in there pretty quickly. God, I don't know how much the stadium holds. Let me do a Google search of that. How much does the Jeddah Superdome? What's the capacity? Let's have a look. Jeddah Superdome, between 35 and 40,000 by all accounts. I mean, when did it open? Opened mid-2021, so it only opened last year. It's the first WWE event in the venue, certainly. 35 to 40,000 doesn't look like it at the moment. There's definitely still filing in. I mean, I don't know if it is a sellout. This is part of the fun with these watch-alongs, is we can be quite loose. Mysterio float over. Oh, sunset flip. Miz turns it into a DDT. Beautiful. I mean, this is the thing with this match as well. Two experienced guys. The match is always going to be good. It's a good TV feud. Good TV match. Mysterio kicked out at 2 from the DDT, though. Dan Davidson says, Bro, Owen, we need to be able to see the replay this pay-per-view tonight because someone called me from work. And yeah, I know those leg braces, how those leg braces feel. I had to wear one too. They were big. Like the Steve Austin ones are brutal. Mysterio hits the rope. Or goes into a... Oh, he's going for that bulldog. It was counted into a skull-crushing finale. That was a lovely count of that. Mysterio goes under the Miz's legs. Drop kick to the patella. The Miz is in position for the 619. Hits the ropes. Beautiful 619 right into the face. The crowd love it. Mysterio going up to the top. And Miz rolls out the way. I tell you what, give him credit. Rey Mysterio and the Miz having a great match. They are. They're having a good TV match. Oh, plancher over the top by Mysterio. The Miz has gone for a chair. Oh, you can see what the finish is going to be a mile off. Chairs on the outside. Dominic's going to grab the chair, try and slide it in. Mysterio is going to get disqualification or Miz is going to get win. I am calling it right now. I have seen way too much WWE in my lifetime. The Miz has got the chair. Dominic's trying to wrestle it off him. Oh, the Miz, he's just stamped on the steps. And Dominic's been caught with a chair. Eddie Guerrero settings. The referee saying, hang on, what's going on? He's going to disqualify him. Or is he going to throw him out? He's going to throw him out. Dominic Mysterio's been sent back to the locker room. You can always see it. Now, Rey's going to be distracted. The Miz is going to come in. Skull-crushing finale. Get out of there. That's the finish, brother. Gets in behind him. Oh, yes. The Miz shoves him into the turnbuckle. Skull-crushing finale. Oh, Rey Mysterio rolls through. Cover. 2, 3. Oh, Mysterio won anyway. What's the point? Mysterio gets the victory. I mean, in fairness, I thought it was going a certain way and they got me. Oh, the Miz is attacking Rey Mysterio from behind. Crowd boos. And now Dominic Mysterio, double leg takedown. Punches the Miz in the face several times. Oh, a bit of a super kick by Dominic. Didn't get all of it, as they would say. Dominic picking up his father. What are they doing now? Oh, the Mysterios. They've sent the Miz into the second rope. They're going to go for the double. Double 619 by the Mysterios to the Miz. Now Dominic's going up top. We're going to see a frog splash from Dom. Frog splash by Dominic Mysterio to the Miz. And that goes Rey Mysterio to the top rope as well. We're getting an Eddie Guerrero tribute. Lie, cheat, and steal, and a couple of frog splashes as well. Beautiful. So the Mysterios win. Rey Mysterio wins. So what's the point of this one? I mean, I guess technically Dominic Mysterio did cheat a couple of times, and the babyfaces get the win. I mean, I know Miz is the bad guy, but you almost feel bad for him. I guess that's the story they're trying to tell, right? He invoked the name of Eddie Guerrero several times, and he got done in perfect Eddie Guerrero fashion. David Book says, got the pay-per-view on one screen, Lost Ark on the other. Lost Ark is fun. You know what? And there you go. That was the first match. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun match, certainly that. I was thinking about possibly getting the new WWE 2K game, it must be said. The only reason I was considering getting it was because of General Manager mode on there. Now, obviously, I am one of those people that grew up with General Manager mode on SmackDown vs. Raw games and loved it. SmackDown vs. Raw. When was the first one that had General Manager mode? I think it was 2006, wasn't it? 2006, 2007, 2008. 2008 one was slightly different as well, wasn't it? Because it was done differently. The best ones were 2006, 2007 had the best General Manager modes on. And I was a big fan. I mean, that was great. So I was considering getting this new 2K game and getting it for General Manager mode, and then possibly having my first venture into streaming playing games here on the channel. But some of the stuff I've heard about the General Manager mode has not filled me with a ton of confidence, it must be said. Like, I saw so the 4 general managers you can be, by all accounts, are Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, Adam Pearce, and Sonya Deville. Fine. You can create a general manager, which I think is interesting. But the thing that really, I guess, perturbed me about this general manager mode is apparently, like, you can only do 3 matches per show or something like that. In addition to only doing 3 matches per show, they can only be normal matches or tag team matches. You can only have 2 titles on your brand, 1 men's and women's singles titles, no tag team titles, no secondary titles, no nothing like that. And I look at that and I'm like, that's not general manager mode. That's never what general manager mode was. General manager mode, what was great about it is you picked the brand, you had everything on that brand, you set who was heel and babyface, you could build people up, you could build titles up as well, and it was great. And I just feel like it was such a slam dunk bringing it back in the first place, but to bring it back sort of half-assed and not that great is so typical. Like, the last game they did was 2K, was it 2K19? I didn't play it. I haven't played WWE games for a while. I think the last game I played that was WWE might have been WWE 13, whichever was the one where it had like the Attitude Era on it. It was the Attitude Era build, and it had like CM Punk was on the front. They had a really cool interview they did with CM Punk, who was WWE champion at the time, and Jim Ross and Steve Austin. And that was at the time where people thought, oh, CM Punk's going to face Steve Austin. It's going to be great. That's probably the last game I played. And I enjoyed that a lot. But I played all the games when I was younger. First ever WWE game I played was the first SmackDown game on PS1, which was great. SmackDown 2, for me, and it's probably just because it was one of the first games that I played, but for me, SmackDown 2 is the best game. And I know people will say, like, no, it was No Mercy and all that kind of stuff. And that was a little bit before my time. I have played it, but it was just a little bit before my time. But yeah, SmackDown 2 for me was the one. I just loved it. I loved the sort of season mode of that. I love picking the title you could go after and unlocking the characters. Steve Austin was the first character you could unlock, and I played that game to death. I played that game to death, and I loved it. And in fairness, after that, they brought out a range of really good games. SmackDown Just Bring It was okay. That was the first PS2 game. That was okay. SmackDown Shut Your Mouth was after that, which I loved. I was so obsessed with that game that before it even came out, there was a magazine that offered a demo of that. This is how crazy, different it is. At the time, there was a magazine that offered a demo. It had a disc on the front of the magazine, and it had a demo of SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. And basically, the demo was, I think there may be 4 people on there. Might have been like Kurt Angle, maybe Brock, The Undertaker, and I think The Rock might have been. They might have been the 4 people that you could play in it. And you could just do a match. One match, you couldn't play the game. You could do a match on this demo. And I must have played that demo for hours, for absolute hours. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then when it came out, it was great because it was when the brand split first happened in 2002. You actually picked your people on the brand as well. So you did like the full, you were Vince McMahon or Ric Flair, and you picked all this kind of stuff, which was great. And again, this is how in-depth those games were, which is crazy, is that SmackDown had different storylines to Raw storylines on the game. So even if you did a full year of stories on that game on the SmackDown side, you still had a full year of stories you had to do on the Raw side as well. And also as well, even if after you'd done 1 year, even into the second and third year, they had different storylines that were preloaded onto the game. It was so great. So you had that, and that was the same for after SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, or was it SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, which was the Brock one, and I love that because it had I Want It All intro, the SmackDown intro, which is such an underrated intro. They had that, and then, what was it after Here Comes the Pain? So Here Comes the Pain was 2003. So 2004, I think 2004 was the first SmackDown versus Raw, I think. The first SmackDown versus Raw, it might have been that with, was I'm trying to think if there was anything after. I think it was the first SmackDown versus Raw, with the one where it had Vince McMahon on the front and it had the red eye and the blue eye, and then we had SmackDown versus Raws going forward. Let's do a bit of this. Is what's great when you're live. You can just sort of just do stuff. So SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. So you had SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, which again was a big fan of. Now what was that followed by? See, they don't say like what is followed by on Wikipedia. Oh, there you go. It was succeeded by SmackDown versus Raw. Yeah, and that had the Vince blue eye and the red eye and all that kind of stuff. That was great. I enjoyed that. Then you had SmackDown versus Raw 2006, SmackDown versus Raw 2007. You know what really bugs me about the SmackDown versus Raw in 2007 is the front cover of it has a picture of Triple H, which is from 2002. It's so old. Like, I just don't understand the logic of having a game. I don't have the logic of having the front cover of a game that's released in 2006 with a picture of Triple H that's 4 years old. Triple H did not look like that in 2006 or 2007. I just did not understand the logic in that one. And you had SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. Had Cena. Well, that was the first one WCW. So SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 featuring ECW. So you could have ECW on the GM mode of that one. Even though if you're ECW, you could never, ever, ever beat Raw or SmackDown in the ratings. It was impossible. You only had a 1 hour show. You only had one title, which is BS. Even though ECW did have one title, but you couldn't beat them. But I did enjoy that because I always enjoyed the challenge of trying to be ECW, but it's always lost viewers every single week because it's impossible. And then you had SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, which again was still featuring ECW and all that kind of stuff. But the frustrating thing about it, wasn't it, is that GM mode had gone, and that's when you had the Road to WrestleMania mode, which was okay. I mean, some of the storylines, I can't remember which year it was. There was a SmackDown vs. Raw game that had a storyline which MVP creates, it's the wildest thing, creates his own country. And it's called Better Than Utopia. And he has his own country. William Regal's like the ambassador of his own country. You face him at WrestleMania, I believe, for the United States Championship. And Better Than Utopia rules are 5 counts and all this kind of stuff. It's mad. It's wild. Absolutely wild. And some of those storylines, I used to remember thinking like, well, they should try this on television. It's fun, isn't it? SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, yep, remember that. I think I had that one. WWE 12, I had that one. I played that. WWE 13, like I said, I think WWE 13 is one of the best covers, just in general. The one with the Punk, but you can't really see. You can see his wrist tape, and again, it was featuring all the Attitude Era. It was a lot of fun. And that was the last, even though that was made by 2K, that was the last one until it was called 2K whatever. So you had 2K14, which had The Rock on it. Which I don't recall playing that one. I kind of just all blur into one then. Yeah, 2K15 after that, which was then followed by 2K6. Where is the link for that one? Can't find the link. Was the 2K15 the one that had John Cena? It's the one that had John Cena play doing the soundtrack, right? I think, which was great. They're trying to find the next one. There you go. Succeeded by 2K16. That was the one. Steve Austin was on the front of it. I recall that. I never played that one either. That I had followed by 2K17, which had Brock on the front. I remembered that because that was the one that had Goldberg coming back. That's why they had Brock versus Goldberg at Survivor Series in 2016. It's funny how they all tie in, isn't it? The pay-per-view started, by the way. I've been talking about games for the last however many minutes. Hey, that's how you pass the time. But it should be a lot of fun, this. We got the new intro as well, of course, haven't we? Then, Now and Forever. It's John Cena talking it, isn't it? Very obviously John Cena. Then, Now, Forever. Together. we're opening with a pitch with an image of the Earth. It's a very interesting cold open. The eyes of the world are on Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, apparently, for Elimination Chamber. I mean, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Whether they are or aren't. Like I said, I know I'm going to say this a million times during this stream, so I apologize when I repeat myself. But I miss the old Elimination Chamber. The old Elimination Chamber was so much better. And that's not just because, oh, the old things are the best things. It's because legitimately it was better. Not saying they don't hurt, but the old Chamber was better. I think maybe the best Elimination Chamber match, the first one's great. First ever Elimination Chamber match, Survivor Series 2002, is one of my favourites. It was brutal. Shawn Michaels winning the World Championship, Madison Square Garden, close to perfection you're going to get. Other great Chamber matches. They had a couple of great ones at No Way Out in 2008. Enjoyed that a lot. The one with The Undertaker and Triple H. We're seeing pictures of Becky Lynch, Lita, etc. Seeing Goldberg, because apparently, if you're Bill Goldberg, you can just say I'm challenging for the title, and then you do. It's very impressive. Final spot on the road to WrestleMania, also, isn't it? Big deal. Are we going to see Cody Rhodes as well this evening? It's a possibility. The theme song for this is pretty good. I like it when they change the colour on the... I like it when they change the colour on the WWE logo. WWE Elimination Chamber is on the air. I forgot they call them premium live events now. The final premium live event of the year. Michael Cole welcoming us. No Pat McAfee, which is a shame. He doesn't do the Saudi shows. I don't necessarily blame him. He doesn't need the money either. That's the thing. Michael Cole saying a late arriving crowd, just to basically being like, people. If you're wondering why there's so many empty seats at the moment. I did mention that during the kickoff. I was like, there's actually like a lot of empty seats going on at the moment. Well, there we go. The show is opening with the Universal Championship. What a shock, because this match is lasting maybe 5 minutes top. Universal titles kicking things off. I do like that theme song. Someone let me know what the theme song is in the chat. Goldberg's final match. Let's put the poll in the chat. Who leaves as Universal Champion? Legitimately, I think my favourite Goldberg match of this entire return to WWE. To be fair, the Brock one at WrestleMania 33 is actually good for them. It was good. Obviously, the Survivor Series one was shocking because that was the first time they did the whole defeat thing really quickly. I think also as well, I actually enjoyed the Ziggler one. It was perfect. David Burke says Goldberg match less than 5 minutes. Ash Sim says the theme song is a banger. It's very true. David Burke says I think anything with Elimination Chamber in this part of the world is absolutely wrong. I mean, the whole Saudi WWE relationship is very questionable, isn't it? As we're just seeing a promo video hyping up Goldberg versus Roman Reigns. Obviously, the match was meant to happen, wasn't it? WrestleMania 36. Imagine we were going to get Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And Goldberg was Universal Champion at the time. They beat The Fiend. They beat The Fiend to get to that point. Oh, God. They're calling it one comeback too many for Goldberg. Well, it's on his contract. That's why it's contractual. I know Goldberg looks great for how old is he? 55. It looks great for 55. It's one thing how you look though. It's another thing actually moving in the ring. David Burke says his last match was good. You know what? In fairness, David, I actually agree because I did the watch along for the Crown Jewel show and I did the post show, and I thought for what it was, the Goldberg match was all right against Bobby. Falls count anywhere, weapons. I'll always credit anyone for doing a big stunt, regardless of how safe people will perceive it to be. At 55, 54 years old, doing a spear off the stage through tables, fair play. You got to, haven't you? Fair play. If you're new to the channel, by the way, guys, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let's do a subscribe check. Let's see how many subscribers we can get to today. Roman Reigns says he's got a Goldberg. We're at 6262. Oh, 6262. See if we can get to 6,300. See what happens this evening, today. But here comes Roman Reigns. The tribal chief is about to make his way to the ring. Roman Reigns' theme so great. The giant, bronze Roman Reigns they do is always terrifying as well. It's always absolutely petrifying. But here he comes. $537 days as Universal Champion. Universal Championship match is up first. Longest single world championship reign in 35 years in WWE. Big deal. It is a big deal. And in fairness, you have to give him credit because it's not stale. And he is, I mean, easily the biggest full-time star WWE has. Easily the biggest name they have right now. He is the guy in WWE, arguably the guy in pro wrestling. Well, no, he is. He is the guy in pro wrestling right now. This generation, this era, he's the biggest name. He's the biggest star, whatever you want to call it. that era, that's after CM Punk and sort of Bryan Danielson, and before that was maybe, John Cena, etc. This era, Roman Reigns is the guy. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can touch him. I mean, that's what you make someone into a star, isn't it? It's basically make him world champion and never lose. It's old school. That's what they used to do back in the day. That's what they did with Bruno. That's what they did with Bob Backlund. That's what they did with Hulk Hogan. Give the guy the belt, let him carry it, and just put him over, brother. The thing is, though, I mean, ironically, chances are this could be his worst match. This could be his worst match in this title reign, because every match he's had in this Universal title reign has just been unbelievable. Just that pop. Look at Paul Heyman. Looks like Shinsuke Nakamura doing that. Pyro going off. It's game time. Certainly always feels like a big fight field, doesn't it? No doubt about that. Roman Reigns saying, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, acknowledge me. They do. They certainly do. Get ready for Bill. Here comes Goldberg. A few boos. Interesting. He's even getting booed in Saudi. That's the only reason he's got a contract. they got the Goldberg charts and they just pan to a shot that has nobody chanting Goldberg. Oh, no long walk for Goldberg. Here comes Goldberg. I tell you what, the scenes if Goldberg wins, he's not going to win, it must be said, but the scenes if he does. No gloves either for Goldberg, he's just got tape. He's just got tape. I remember there was a story saying that he needs surgery, I think on his shoulder or something of that nature. Ring introductions just about to happen, then we'll get going. Again, Goldberg's getting boos. It's fascinating. Fascinating to see. Roman Reigns just being introduced. Belt up high, it's game time. Rudy Charles, the referee. I don't care what he's called. He'll always be Rudy Charles to me. Good for Rudy. He's a good guy. But here we go. Referee's giving the instructions. They're about to go to the corner. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're aiming for 2,000... what was it? 2,000... no, 6,230 or whatever. 6,000, whatever it is. Smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Got over 50 people watching. 17 likes. See if we can get that like number up. But the bell has rang. We are underway. You can put your vote in who you think is going to win this one. Match that was supposed to happen 2 years ago at WrestleMania. Chants of Goldberg from the crowd. Reigns looks not happy with those chants, it must be said. We're currently on 6,264. We'll see if we can get to 6,300. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Crowd chanting for Goldberg. Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Collar and elbow tie-up by Goldberg and Reigns to start this one out. So we're not going to get that quick start that necessarily maybe we thought we were going to. Collar and elbow tie-up. Interesting. Some chance of let's go Roman from the crowd as well. Interesting. Goldberg overpowering. Oh, Roman Reigns with the right hand. Roush Gaming says, who won the Elimination Chamber matches? This is the first match of the show. The show has just begun, folks. So if you are just joining us, we've got the whole show to come, plus the post-show reaction stream as well. Roman Reigns throws Goldberg to the outside, who just flies into the rope. That looked nasty already. We are actually going to see Goldberg try and work this match, which could go a couple of ways, guys. So be a bit worried. Oh, Reigns just smashes Goldberg's face off the Arab announce table once again. Referee's doing the count. Oh, Goldberg's reversing the Irish whip. Goldberg, throws Roman Reigns into the barricade. Remember, this is a match we were going to get at WrestleMania 36. This match has been in the can for 2 years at this point. But Goldberg looks to be in control. Oof. Knee to the gut. Again, Goldberg's trying to work a match, which is good. You never know how this one's going to go. Roman Reigns thrown back into the ring. Breaks up the count. Oh, Roman Reigns with an uppercut right to the face of Goldberg. And now Roman Reigns once again in control. Reigns smashing Goldberg across the back of his neck. Oh, nearly elbowed the referee. Imagine after the DQ against Seth Rollins, he gets another DQ. Could you imagine? Oh, my God. That would be nuts. By the way, again, this could be Goldberg's final match ever. He has got one more match left on his contract, which is tonight. Oh, it's a spear. Spear by Goldberg. Reigns hits the rope. Goldberg hits the spear. Reigns is down. There's no way he's going to drop the title, is there? No way. Surely not. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like the fourth highest rating guy in WWE history would lose to Goldberg. Goldberg's going to go for a jackhammer. Can he even get Roman Reigns up? Oh, Roman counters. Roman counters. Oh, rock bottom. He just hit a Uranagi. It's a rock bottom. Goes for a cover. 2. Goldberg kicks out. It's got a big fight feel, guys. It's got a big fight feel, certainly. Goldberg's bleeding already on the top of his head. Shock. Heck of a spear by Goldberg as well. Goldberg was going for the jackhammer. He came out, reversed into a rock bottom. They're calling it an Uranagi. But there you go. Corey Graves has just called it a rock bottom-like maneuver. WrestleMania next year, guys. That's what we're getting. Reigns is setting up for a Superman punch. Goes for the Superman punch. Oh, in fairness, Goldberg, he took a hell of a bump there. Give him credit, Bill. He's still bleeding on the top of the head. If you're enjoying this one, smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Jetty says, I've seen something about Austin Goldberg. That was from Andrew Zarian, and he said, I didn't actually say that. He was just speculating. Here we go. Roman Reigns setting up for a spear. Sets up for the spear. Oh, he hits it again. Another spear. Second spear by Goldberg. Are we going to get the jackhammer this time? No way. Goldberg's bleeding from the top of his head. That's the second spear by Goldberg. No way. No way. Paul Heyman's seen this before. He's going to go for it. Is he going to go for this? Is he going to go for the jackhammer? I mean, can he actually get Roman Reigns up? That's the question. Can he get him up for a jackhammer? Gets him up. Oh, Roman Reigns fights out of it. Guillotine. He's countered into the guillotine. Guillotine's locked in. Watch Goldberg's hand. He's trying to get out. Is Goldberg going to tap? I'll give Bill credit. He's working a hell of a match so far. My gosh. Guillotine. Remember, Roman Reigns has choked out a few people with this guillotine. Goldberg's trying to back up Reigns into the corner. Goldberg, smashes Reigns into the corner once again. If Goldberg's head wasn't bleeding already, it definitely is now. It's gone beet red. My God. Is Goldberg going to fade? Oh, look at fair play. He's wrapped his legs around and Goldberg's carrying him. Fair play. He's 55. You have to give him credit. Goldberg down to one knee. Oh, now he's down. Goldberg's in trouble. He's down on the floor. He might be out. Is he going to tap? Reigns has got to watch the shoulders. Is Goldberg going to pass out? He's out. I think he's out. That's going to be it. He's out. Game over. Reigns wins. Roman Reigns retains the WWE Universal Championship, chokes out Bill Goldberg in the opening match of WWE Elimination Chamber. Goldberg trying to catch his breath. He can't breathe, but Roman Reigns wins. I mean, we didn't see a jackhammer. We didn't see Reigns kick out of it, but Roman Reigns wins. He was never going to lose, Roman Reigns. I'll give Bill credit. He worked a match. But Roman Reigns retains and is still the Universal Champion. Another name falls to Roman Reigns' vicious guillotine, and that is WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg, because Roman Reigns is still Universal Champion. We know Roman Reigns is going to be facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Could it be for both titles? Whew. High energy. Different kind of Bill Goldberg match. I wasn't terrible for Goldberg standards. It was what it needed to be. Roman Reigns chokes out Goldberg. Still Universal Champion. Smash a like on the like button if you enjoyed that. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner as well. Like I said, we're trying to get up to 6,300 this evening. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Again, for a Goldberg match, and I always have to preface this by saying for a Goldberg match, I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Again, I thought it was okay. I thought for Goldberg matches, some of the Goldberg matches he's had in Saudi Arabia have been so bad that we're seeing this WrestleMania advert that features the word dynamite in it. But Roman Reigns still Universal Champion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below in the free seats. What did you think of that one? 66% of you were okay. 232 votes. Amazing, guys. But the show starts off red hot. I would assume now. What match do we think is going to be next? Well, we could see maybe Falls Count Anywhere, maybe. Maybe we see a chamber match. That's a possibility too. Only 29 subscribers away, by the way, from 6,300, which is amazing. Really appreciate everyone that has subscribed. Or smashed a like on the like button. But whew. David Burke said it was okay. BMF said it was good, but I wanted a better finish. I thought we might see a Reigns kicking out of the jackhammer or something like that. He probably didn't because Goldberg can't get him up. He can't get him up for the jackhammer. That's why we didn't see it, ultimately. Well, that can't be next. They're saying still to come tonight is the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. Whereas I think Brock's going to win that one. I think we're going to see a new WWE Champion tonight. I think tonight sets up that title versus title match at WrestleMania. I really do. I mean, this match can't be the next match, by the way, because if it is, could you imagine? But I guess you need to sort of come down somewhat from that. By the way, guys, if you are Impact Wrestling fans here on the channel, I will also be going live for a No Surrender watch-along this evening and a No Surrender post-show too. So we got a busy day coming up today, which I'm very excited about. Some big matches at No Surrender. We've got that Honor No More versus Team Impact match. Of course, no Josh Alexander. His contract's expired as well. So a lot of fun stuff to come this evening. Plus, obviously, after Elimination Chamber, the watch-along this evening, we're going to have the Elimination Chamber post-show reaction, discussing the matches, getting your thoughts. I really enjoy the post-shows because I get as many of your comments up on the screen as possible to discuss your thoughts. Because this isn't it's about your opinions as well. Dragonstorm says, will you be doing a live No Surrender reaction to Owen? Exactly as I just said, Dragonstorm. I absolutely will be this evening. We've got a really fun couple of months coming up in the world of pro wrestling here on the channel. Of course, we've got Chamber tonight, No Surrender tonight, WrestleMania across 2 nights. We've got obviously so much coming up, and I'm really excited about it. We've got Revolution as well, so I really want to get back to a regular schedule here on the channel, so I appreciate that. I really do. And BMF says, I don't think they would do a title versus title match. I really do think they're going to. Edward says, why take the title off Brock Lesnar if they're going to put it back on him tonight? Because the original plan was to do another WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, Bobby Lashley versus someone else. But then they realized they didn't actually have any idea what they were going to do. So we are getting a Elimination Chamber match, but it's going to be the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match. As you can see right there, you can see it on the screen. The chain link behind me indicates we've got an Elimination Chamber match coming up next. We've got Bianca Belair, Nikki A.S h, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Doudrop. The winner of this match, of course, will be facing the Raw Women's Champion, whoever that may be, at WrestleMania on either night. They've just got the rules up on the screen right now. But the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match is up next. History being made. Raw Women's Elimination Chamber is up next. WWE Chamber. Who does everyone think is going to win this one? I'm going to put the poll up in the chat. Do that here. I wonder how many people I can add. How many people can I add? Who leaves victorious? I swear I could add more options to my poll. Can I not do that? I thought I could. It's annoying. Let me see if I can do it this way. I think they're having the usual gear that they have at Saudi shows for all of these things. There you go. Who leaves victorious? Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan. They look to be covered, by the way, guys, as I can see a lot of people asking. They will be. Rhea Ripley. I can only put 4 options in when it comes to the poll. I'll wait till 2 people are eliminated, and then we'll do it. Here comes Doudrop. Of course, last time Doudrop was in Saudi Arabia, she was in the Queen's Crown Tournament final. Lost to Queen Zelina. Becky versus Bianca just makes it better. Ankit says, much love from India. Appreciate you joining us, Ankit. Much love to India also. Quite a few Indian people watching the channel, so I appreciate everyone joining in. Appreciate everyone joining us. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. We've got 47 people watching and 47 likes. That's not bad. That's pretty good, isn't it? So if you haven't already, smash a like on the like button. And as I mentioned, be sure to subscribe if you haven't. We're aiming for 6,300. We're about 30 away, I think. No, we're 25 away. Only 25 to go. 6,300. Oh my goodness! If we can get there, that'd be insane. But Doudrop has just entered the chamber. We know Bianca Belair is entering last because she won the gauntlet match on Raw on Monday. Oh wow! And Spurs are beating Man City at the Etihad. Nightmare. Here comes Rhea Ripley. Edward James says, I want Alexa Bliss to win, but I think Bianca or Rhea will win. I think you're probably right there, Edward. I think it's going to probably be Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley with a close second. Here comes Rhea Ripley. Like I said, they're covered up, as one would expect. I mean, it's somewhat better than it was previously. That first women's match they had, which was Lacey Evans versus Natalya. By the way, heck of a first women's match ever, was when they had the oversized T-shirts and all that kind of stuff, didn't they? Number 1 trend worldwide is WWE Chamber. Adam A.S.H says, watching you live from Dubai. Appreciate you joining us, Adam. One day I do hope to get out there. I really do. I'm sure at some point WWE will probably do a pay-per-view or something like that out in Dubai. But Ripley enters the chamber. Actually, you can say that. Follow Adam's example. Where are you watching from? I'm always fascinated to see where people are watching from. Obviously, I'm over here in the UK, but let me know where you're watching from in the live chat. We'll get your comments up on the screen. Let me know your predictions as well. Usually I would put the poll in, but obviously there's 6 people in this match. I can only do four options. So once we get to eliminations, I'll put the poll up. But Ripley enters her pod. So we've got Bianca Belair, we've got Rhea Ripley, we've got Doudrop. Rhea Ripley's doing pull-ups. And next is Nikki, A.S.H. Almost a superhero is going to be the final person in a pod. The villainous superhero. In fairness to, you can even see the lights, can't you? In fairness to Nikki, A.S.H., her costume being covered works. It really works. It really works. Rhea Ripley's got the whole sort of Selena Kyle, Catwoman look going on with her outfit.
But this is the thing to do. Again, I wasn't huge on the almost a superhero gimmick, but as a sort of cheesy, over the top, annoying, aggravating character, it works really well. But that means Alexa Bliss is going to start this match with Liv Morgan, the returning Alexa Bliss. If she's going to win this thing, she's going to have to go the entire distance. Michael Cole's just called Byron Saxton Byron AAA, almost an announcer. That's tremendous. I enjoyed that a lot. Rhea Ripley and Nikki A.S.H. talking some trash from inside their pods together. Next, it's Liv Morgan. Out comes Liv. Like with anything in WWE recently, I really enjoyed the old music Liv Morgan had, and the news one I'm not thrilled with. Liv Morgan's got Britney Spears vibes going on. She's got the all red suit. Isn't that right? Britney Spears had the whole red thing going on. That's what she's going for. It's got to be boiling in those as well. It really has. But smash a like on the like button if you're excited for this one. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Less than 30 subscribers to 6,300. I just can't talk today. But get ready, we're going to have Alexa Bliss about to come out next. Liv Morgan trying to play some mind games with everyone. Of course, Liv Morgan's going to be starting the match. Get ready, here she comes. Alexa Bliss is going to be making her way out to the ring. Fire's shooting up. And there she is. Alexa Bliss is back. I'll tell you what, the lights are unbelievable. To be fair, that entrance is so badass. But Alexa Bliss is back. She looks kind of just doing the same as before. Alexa Bliss is back. So they're questioning whether or not she's actually cured or not, which I guess is a good thing to question. But Nikki A.S.H. is in the ring, so it looks like maybe Alexa Bliss actually isn't going to be starting the match. Alexa Bliss trying to talk some trash to everyone in the match. Rhea was just laughing at Alexa Bliss. Well, it is obvious that Alexa Bliss was going to be in this final pod because there's a swing in it. There's a swing inside her pod. So I guess Alexa Bliss is just doing the same character she had previously. So Alexa Bliss has a swing inside her pod. So actually starting things off is Nikki A.S.H. and Liv Morgan, and not Alexa Bliss. They were just waiting for her to make her entrance. But it's great to see Alexa Bliss back. Obviously, she's much needed. But she has a swing. She has a swing in her pod. Can you believe it? Like, she is openly sat in her pod with a swing. So anyone hoping for an evolution of a different character when it comes to Alexa Bliss, we have not seen it. We've kind of just seen the same Alexa Bliss. Oof.
pulled Liv Morgan's head as Nikki A.S.H. onto the mats outside the pod. Pretty much everyone has gone up to Rhea Ripley and screamed at her as well. Oof, Liv Morgan just throws Nikki A.S.H's face into the pod. Crowd are chanting Morgan. Oof. Morgan just thrown into the chain-linked fence. But yeah, I mean, I can't believe Nikki Alexa Bliss has a swing. Oh my god. Goes for a cover. Kicks out. Man, that was quick. We've already got our person's about to come in. What was that? How quick was that? We've got the next person coming in. 2, 1. Who's it going to be? Belair. Well, it's not going to be Belair. It's going to be Doudrop, Bliss, or Ripley. We know that for certain. It's Doudrop. In comes Doudrop. Viper Piper. 2 Scottish people in one match. Doudrop and Nikki Cross. You love to see it. Oh, and that friendship hasn't lasted very long between Doudrop and Nikki A.S.H. She's just got a headbutt for her troubles. Oof. Driven spine first into the fence. Oh my goodness. Doudrop just absolutely crushed Nikki Cross against the chain link fence there. My goodness. That's the one thing they've kind of changed with the new chamber, is that the chain link is way tighter than it ever used to be. The chain link used to have some give. This time it has like none. Oh, Doudrop just with a throw to Liv Morgan onto the mats. That was brutal. Crowd chanting, "You suck" at Doudrop. Oh, Doudrop with a senton. Running senton to the outside. Alexa Bliss is saying she doesn't like that. My goodness. Crowd chanting for Alexa Bliss. Chanting Alexa. She's just squeezing Liv Morgan's face against the chain link. I think those tears are about to become real on her face. Oof, Doudrop just runs into the corner ring post. Nikki Cross is celebrating in the ring. Countdown continues. 3, 2, 1. Who's going to be next? It's going to be Ripley or Bliss. It's not going to be Bianca Belair. Didn't they one year get one of these numbers wrong? It's Rhea Ripley. Here comes the nightmare. Oh, Michael Cole. Nikki just saw her nightmare. Crowd chanting for Rhea Ripley. She realizes she might have a bit of a problem. Nikki's trying to leave. She's trying to leave and she can't. She's locked in. But Doudrop just attacks. Oh, super kick by Rhea Ripley. Nikki Cross, she's trying to escape. She's climbing. Nikki A.S.H. is climbing up the chamber walls. Where is she going? Rhea Ripley trying to escape. Oof. Kick to the face. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross are both up the top. Oh, and Nikki A.S.H falls backwards and lands on both Doudrop and Liv Morgan. Crowd are certainly into it. Again, Rhea Ripley's got a very Tim Burton's Catwoman vibe going on. Oh, Riptide might be this. Riptide on Nikki A.S.H. 1, 2, 3, and Nikki Cross has been eliminated. We've got our first elimination of the match. Nikki A.S.H. has been eliminated. I'll see you later, Nikki. Nikki's gone. So we're still waiting on Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair to come into the match. Nikki A.S.H. is slowly crawling out. Well, it's not going to be Bianca. We know who's it going to be. It's going to be Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is about to enter the match. Here she comes. She's back. What a pop. Former Chamber winner. Alexa Bliss, shoulder tackle to Liv Morgan. Goes for a head scissors. Beautiful head scissors by Alexa Bliss on Ripley. Just slams Liv Morgan. Shotgun drop kick to the face of Rhea Ripley. And Alexa Bliss is on fire. She's back. Knees to the gut is going to go for that backflip. And another knees to the gut also. Liv Morgan kicks out at 2. Back to in-ring action. Rhea Ripley just throws Liv Morgan, man. Liv with some boots to the chest of Ripley herself. Liv Morgan. She got her foot caught. That was nasty. Really nasty to Liv Morgan. Doudrop now is going to go to the second rope. Rhea Ripley catches her. Ripley, what's Ripley thinking of doing here? Doudrop and Ripley on the second rope. Doudrop headbutt. Morgan with a forearm to the face. Morgan's now going to go for a sunset flip power bomb. 1, 2, 3, and Liv Morgan has eliminated Doudrop. Doudrop has been eliminated. I tell you what, Doudrop landed hard on her head. My goodness. Now Bianca Belair is about to make her way into this one. And in comes Bianca Belair. Everyone is now in this match. Bianca Belair, drop kick to Liv Morgan. Alexa Bliss goes for a clothesline, duck under. Bianca Belair, Irish whip. Into the corner goes Bliss. Forearm to the face of Belair. Running knee strike by Liv Morgan. Forearm to the face by Belair. Here we go. She's going to get Liv Morgan up for a press. Look at the strength of Bianca Belair. She's going to throw her one hand. Oh my goodness. One hand. And just drops Liv Morgan straight into the ring behind her back. The strength of the EST is unbelievable. Jumps over the top rope. Look at that spine buster to Alexa Bliss. Going to go for that handspring moonsault across the back of Bliss also. And a kip up. Bianca Belair's on fire. She better wait behind her. We've got Belair, we've got Rhea Ripley. Arguably the two favourites in this one. Of course, Belair defeated Ripley this past Monday. What's going on here? Looks like Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are going to go after Morgan and Bliss. Stereo vertical suplexes. Belair's got Morgan. Ripley's got Bliss. Beautiful delayed vertical suplexes by both Belair and Ripley. Belair with the kick up. Ripley doesn't look impressed. Oh, and a slap straight to the face of Bianca Belair by Rhea Ripley. Now these two talking trash. Oh, and Belair hits one back. And here we go. These two going at it. Oh, headbutt right to the chin by Ripley. Oh, Belair's going to go for KOD. Ripley's up on the shoulders of Belair. Oof. Rhea Ripley lands on her feet. Oh, and a double code breaker by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan trying to fire up. Oh, Alexa Bliss just nearly took her head off. Crowd are chanting for Alexa Bliss. I think Bliss is going to go top rope with Twisted Bliss. Bliss, Twisted Bliss. That will be it. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan's eliminated. Edward James says, you're going to do a poll. I was going to do it, but then I sort of realised that it would become redundant pretty quickly. Like, if I'd have just done the 4, then someone would have been eliminated. I should probably do it when there's 2 left. Ripley's going for a Riptide. Oh, Alexa Bliss is going to go for a DDT. Clothesline. Oh, clothesline to Bliss. Turned into a DDT to Ripley. Now, Belair's got Rhea Ripley up. She's going to go for KOD. KOD. Ripley's going to be eliminated. 2, 3. Rhea Ripley is eliminated. We're down to the final 2. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. Who leaves victorious? Oh, Bliss is going to go for Code Red. Beautiful. 2. And Belair clicks out. Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. Alexa Bliss or Bianca Belair is going to go to WrestleMania and challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. Who's it going to be? Bliss back on the top rope. Belair rolls to the outside once more. Oh, went for a Hurricane Runner, did Bliss. Caught by Belair. Look at the power. Oh, slingshot powerbomb. Oof. This is nasty. Oof. And another one. Oh, and Bliss just thrown into the ring by Belair. Now Bianca's going to try and go to the top rope, seemingly. Bianca up to the top rope. She's thinking 450 splash. Ooh, that was nasty. Alexa Bliss rolled out the way. Alexa Bliss going to go for that DDT. Oh, Bianca Belair's blocked it. Beautiful. Just a pure power when it goes for a suplex. Bliss manages to get out. Kick to the hamstring once again by Bliss. Bliss is going to go for a DDT. Oh, what a roll through. What an amazing counter by Bianca Belair. That was crazy. She's going for, again, handspring, moonsaults. Knees got up, I think. Maybe. Bliss is going to go for a small package. 2. Ooh, kicks out at 2. Goes for a clothesline. Schoolboy roll up. Rolls out once more. What a match. Tell you what, Bianca Belair's really feeling the ribs. She's really selling that her ribs are hurt. Trying to show some fire. Oh, just slaps to the face. Another right hand by Alexa Bliss. What's she going for? She's shouting give up at Bianca Belair. Oh, what a right hand. She's got her up on the shoulder. KOD about to happen. KOD, that should be it. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair is going to Bianca Belair wins. And Bianca Belair is going to WrestleMania to challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. She's going to probably be facing Becky Lynch. Let's face it, at WrestleMania. Bianca Belair versus either Becky Lynch or Lita. Becky Lynch is what it's going to be. Alexa Bliss is down. KOD. And that's how she gets the win. Bianca Belair wins the Elimination Chamber. Pyro's going off. Those 3D graphics are pretty badass, it must be said. But Bianca Belair wins, as to be expected, obviously. Bianca Belair says she's so happy because she's going to WrestleMania. But so far, as to be expected, Roman Reigns retains. Bianca Belair wins the Women's Elimination Chamber match. I can't believe Spurs are beating Man City. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're aiming for 6,300. We're about 25 away. There you go, only 21 subscribers away from 6,300. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Only 1 like away from 60 likes as well. You could be the 60th like. How amazing would that be? So 2 things that we have learned so far. Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania as the Universal Champion. We also know that Bianca Belair also wins the Elimination Chamber. She's going to WrestleMania as well. But what's everyone's thoughts on the show so far? How are you feeling? Have you enjoyed it? Only 2 matches in, of course. Just seeing a highlight package on Bobby Lashley. I'm seeing a very, very in-depth vignette on Bobby Lashley. Are we going to see these on every person in the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match? One would think that that's going to be our main event this evening, the WWE Title Elimination Chamber match. But what's the next one going to be? Such a great song, by the way. David Burke says, I mean, it's okay, but it is WWE, so my expectations are low. That's kind of the situation, isn't it? So we're seeing a WWE community video. Special Olympics in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. With Happy Corbin with a mustache and glasses. Looks like he's teleported in from the 1980s. In a bad sort of detective film. I think people realize this as well. Like, I think if you talk to any WWE star, any pro wrestler that is, they always say, like, the community work is really the most rewarding stuff. Like, the relationship with Special Olympics, be a star is legit. You know, say what you will, but it does affect people's lives. It's very good. Well, next match is Ronda Rousey's return to a normal match, I suppose, as opposed to the Royal Rumble. And she's going to have her arm tied behind her back. So, tag team match is up next. Crowd booing. Here comes Charlotte Flair. K2 Rob says, how many more matches are there? There is the SmackDown, well, there's this match. There's the SmackDown Tag Team title match. There's the Falls Count Anywhere match. There's the Raw Women's Championship match. And there's the WWE Title Elimination Chamber match. We're about an hour into the show. So there's probably, a couple of hours left, I would think. Oh, Man City have scored. Oh, it's 2-1. Oh, it's a replay. Man City have equalised. Well, that's good. Not that I like Man City, obviously, but need Spurs to drop points. It was a mistake as well. Hugo Lloris. Shock. But here comes Charlotte Flair to the pomp and circumstance of pyro, robes, you name it. Of course, it came down to Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Out next is their tag team partner, that being Sonya Deville. What I enjoy with Sonya Deville is her Titantron is a giant picture of herself. Sonya Deville in a similar gear to Rhea Ripley. Sonya Deville with the arm in a sling, which is why Ronda Rousey has to have her arm tied behind her back. I'm sure the match will begin, and then suddenly it's revealed that her arm isn't bad because she's a devilish heel, of course. That's what heels do, they lie. Let's do the poll as to who leaves victorious. Who wins this match? Is it Rousey and Naomi, or Flair and Deville? Eagle Eye Football's in the chat says, I wanted Bliss to win. I think actually quite a few people did, didn't they? I've seen just on social media quite a few people saying, why have those segments for Alexa Bliss to lose? I think if always the intention was to have Bianca Belair to win, which I think it was, you would argue why put Alexa Bliss in the match. But out comes Naomi. Her entrance is always great. But we've had two now back-to-back women's matches on the show, right? We just had a women's elimination chamber. Now we've got a women's tag team match too. Always reminds me of like the neon stuff with Naomi. Always reminds me of Jeff Hardy. Remember when Jeff Hardy used to come out with the neon paint? As a kid, I used to think it was like the coolest thing ever. Here comes Ronda Rousey. Oh, she's coming out in judo stuff. Coming out in a judo gear. She's obviously a Olympic bronze medalist as well, you have to remember. Ronda Rousey. Interesting, that's what Ronda Rousey's decided to wear, certainly. But she's back in a judo gi. I guess pretty much since the first time since the Olympics, right? We're just seeing a promo package for Ronda Rousey. We're seeing just a video package. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Those WrestleMania graphics are great. I'm looking forward to when they're moving again. Moving graphics are the best. I suppose it's smart by Ronda Rousey, isn't it? As well, she's like, okay, I don't want to wear the stupid gear. I'll wear my judo gi. Crowd chanting for Ronda Rousey. So one arm tied behind the back. Ronda Rousey and Sonya Deville going to start this one, both with one arm apiece. Get ready for the reveal. Because it's classic heel. Sonya Deville was saying, hold on, hold on, hold on. Her arm's fine. Classic. Classic. Sonya Deville's arm is fine. She's healed. Who would have known it? Who would have known it? Her arm's fine. She's healed. Classic. Classic villain. Sonya Deville. Call her Cruella Deville. Ha 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 ha. Classic pro wrestling. And now Sonya Deville goes straight after Ronda Rousey. Knees to the gut. You have to be really careful when you're working with the one arm tied behind your back gimmick because... Oh, beautiful rollout by Ronda Rousey. Oh, kick to the face. Shades of Holly home against her. Oh, step up knee. That was nice. But legitimately, yeah, you have to be careful with the whole one arm tied behind your back deal. You can break your arm. Charlotte Flair saying she wants me. She wants me. No. In comes Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair into the match. This is going to be, I think, if the rumours and reports are true, this is going to be the main event of WrestleMania 38 Night 1. And Charlotte Flair went outside and now she's tagged Sonya Deville back in. Eagle-Eyed Football says, really want to see some brand new champions. Same couple being recycled. Name is Rich. If Eagle-Eyed Football is too long to say all the time. Appreciate that, Rich. Yeah, especially when it comes to the women's division. It's the 4 horsewomen and Ronda Rousey. That's it. Oh, Sonya Deville just threw Naomi straight into the turnbuckle, face first. That was nasty. She's going to go with a hanging sort of neck breaker kicks out at 2. If you see me keep checking over my shoulder, by the way, this way, it's because I keep checking to see if Spurs are losing. Because I want to drop points. Knees to the gut by Sonya Deville, whips Naomi into the ropes. Oh, went for a clothesline. Sonya Deville with a knee slide, ducks under. That's shocking. Hugo Lloris is just, you can't rely on him. And then comes Ronda Rousey. The one-armed woman in an ass-kicking contest is in the ring. She's now going to go for beautiful judo throw with one arm. Now she's going to go for the armbar. Oh, Charlotte Flair comes into the ring. Oh, it's a boot straight to the face. And Charlotte Flair just, throws Ronda Rousey into the middle turnbuckle. I remember it was before, it might have been the Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania in 2019, where Ronda Rousey's in like the police car and her head's hanging out the window. And Charlotte Flair kicked Ronda Rousey in the face so hard, it was brutal. I remember it vividly. Or just boot to the face. Boot to the face of Rousey in the corner. Oh, chops to the chest. I watched a video that Steve-O did on Steve-O's YouTube channel. Steve-O's YouTube channel is great, by the way, from Jackass. I watched a video that he did on his YouTube channel. It was kind of like a vlog of what he did around the time of the premiere of Jackass. And during that time, he was meant to be in Johnny Knoxville's entrance at the Royal Rumble. He was meant to be part of that, but he tested positive for COVID. And he shared a private jet with Ronda Rousey to fly to St. Louis. And he's filming, and he goes to the back of the plane, and he's got his phone recording, and Ronda Rousey's breastfeeding. And she sort of looks at him and goes, like, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. It was very funny. Ronda Rousey's in the corner. Sonya Deville with the boots to the face. Slap to the face by Deville. Forearms to the face also. Ronda Rousey in the corner being worked over. In comes Charlotte Flair. We're only 21 subscribers from 6,300, by the way. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Charlotte Flair taunts the crowd. Oh, big boot to the face. Big boot to the face of Naomi. Naomi goes to the outside. Have a look at the poll. 89% says Rousey and Naomi are going to win this one. Oh, kick to the gut by Rousey. Rousey trying to work with one arm. She's trying to make her way to the corner. With Charlotte Flair. Oh, shoving her off. Oh, and she grabbed the rope. Charlotte Flair. Rousey was nearly in the corner and she grabbed the rope. Oh, now she's pulling hair. Oh, did you see Ronda Rousey's arm there? It was nasty. They took her arm out of the socket. Crowd are chanting, let's go Rousey. Hook says, hey Owen, what's up, my guy? Send Hook. Obviously, that's what I'm waiting for. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for Hook to be sent. And now he's here. Tag, in comes Naomi. Naomi with a hot tag. Clothesline to a Flair. Drop kick to Sonya Deville. JPF says, are you streaming Impact's event tonight, Owen? Yes, I am. We've got this watch-along that we're doing live now, of course. We're going to have beautiful head scissors, or Hurricane Rana, actually, by Naomi there. We're going to have this, obviously, this watch-along. And then we're going to have the post-show reaction stream after this. Then later on this evening, we're going to have the No Surrender watch-along and a post-show for that also. So it's a busy night, but now is the best time to subscribe because you can join me once again later this evening or after this event. Now is the perfect time. You won't miss a single thing, especially if you click that notification bell. And it's going to be a fun one. We've got a big couple of months coming up. WrestleMania, Revolution, crossbody by Naomi, kicks out at 2. Beautiful corkscrew plancha by Naomi there. Reverse elbow by Charlotte Flair to Naomi. Naomi floats over. Went for another Hurricane Runner, but she's caught by Flair. Look at the power. Beautiful sit out power bomb. Stacks Naomi. Kicks out at 2. Now he's going to go for the... She's into the figure 4. Can she bridge through into that figure 8? Oh, and Ronda Rousey comes in and kicks her in the face. Oh, Sonya Deville throws Rousey to the outside. Sonya Deville looking for the tag to Flair. Gets it. Oh, knee to the face. That might be it. Oh, Naomi kicks out. Hook says, Owen, did you upload the Buddy Matthews AW news yet? I literally have not had the time, Hook. But I'm hoping now we're getting back to a bit of a schedule when it comes to the channel. So we'll be able to do the daily videos, get back to live streaming. Ronda Rousey's back into the ring. One-armed, of course. Throws Deville into the ropes. Gets Deville up on the shoulder. She's going to go for a one-arm Piper's Pit. Piper's Pit, one-armed. Now she's going to go for the armbar. Flair's not going to go into the ring. Flair doesn't want any part of it. Armbar's locked in. And Charlotte Flair's just watching her. Ronda Rousey and Naomi get the victory. Charlotte Flair doesn't want anything to do. Naomi's going to undo her arm. So Rousey and Naomi get the win. As we see a bit of a preview of the match at WrestleMania. I mean, that was okay. I mean, it was as to be expected. The problem is, those one-armed matches, they're never going to be great matches because it's just you're wrestling a match with one arm tied behind your back, so they're never going to be that good. It was what it was. It was a bit of a tease, I suppose. As we're going to get the however many days to WrestleMania promo package next. Most stupendous WrestleMania, and we're gonna have to hear that a million times over the course of it. We've already heard it a lot anyway. Only 42 days to go until WrestleMania, and only 19 subscribers to go until 6,300. They just came back to Byron Saxton, and he's applying makeup and wiping his brow, and Corey Graves is giving him a look as if to say, "What are you doing?" He was literally like that, going like that. They came back and he was like, "What?" Can't believe he did that. Again, Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. Bless WWE. They piped in a pop for that one, but nobody's cheering for this. I love Drew McIntyre as well, but my goodness. Hook says, why do they got to have another The Weeknd song? I mean, I don't mind The Weeknd, it must be said. But, you know, like, I guess in the mid-2000s and the 90s, it felt like every WWE pay-per-view song was by Saliva. And I like Saliva as well. But it was by Saliva. I guess every WrestleMania song now is being done by The Weeknd. For whatever reason. But this is Falls Count Anywhere, so I guess it'll be somewhat entertaining, hopefully, maybe. I tell you what as well, the whole Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss gimmick is just awful. I mean, it's awful. And again, I know people will be like, oh, it's meant to be bad. He's a heel. It's bad heat. Madcap Moss eliminated AJ Styles in the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles he eliminated. What a disgrace. Honestly, what a disgrace. I couldn't believe it. And like I said before, when I first went live and I was previewing the card, my concern is that, like, Drew McIntyre, at the moment, he's got really nothing to do. You've got WrestleMania on the horizon. What's his match going to be? His match at WrestleMania looks like it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Oh, yeah, because that screams, the grandest stage of them all. McIntyre's got his sword, which he never uses. And Madcap Moss walks around with a black eye. Because his Claymore gave him a black eye, I guess. It's just... Adam A.S.H says, who won between Roman and Goldberg? Roman Reigns retained the Universal Championship, as to be expected. What's annoying as well is when it comes to the whole Happy Corbin thing is that Baron Corbin last year with the whole destitute, grew his hair out, beard, mustard shirt wearing, it was great. It was great. And then he wins loads of money in Vegas and he's fine. And now he's got Madcap Moss. Great. Oh my god. The music for Madcap Moss starts off with joke. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. And not even good. If I wasn't doing a watch along, I'd be like, I'm not watching this match. Ugh. Jaden Lopez says, did Lita win the title? The match has not happened yet. We've still got the Raw Women's Championship match to come. We've got the WWE Title Elimination Chamber match to come. We've also got the SmackDown Tag Team Titles match to come. So one would assume we've got this match, the Falls Count Anywhere match. We've got then probably the SmackDown Tag Titles. No, probably after this, probably the Raw Women's title, then the SmackDown Tag Titles, and then the WWE Championship Chamber match still to come. Here comes Drew McIntyre. Credit to Drew McIntyre because he legitimately did have a neck injury. By all accounts, he rehabbed like how. Nobody knew he was coming back at the Rumble. He kept it a massive secret. And you have to give him credit for it. mean, I would hope it's not how this one is going to work. But if I was booking this, I'd have McIntyre literally the Ballard ring. I'd go Claymore 1, 2, 3 over, literally. Because what's the point? Like seriously, there is no point in this one. And I get that they like Riddick Moss. They've been a fan of Riddick Moss for ages, even before the pandemic. Remember, they had Riddick Moss was the 24/7 champion at the time. Like that means anything. But he was a 24/7 champion at the time, and it was when Ricochet was challenging for the WWE Championship. He faced Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown. Brock Lesnar beat Ricochet in like 20 seconds. It might have been less than that. And then the next night, it was like, wow, even though he like just got squashed by Brock, he still was challenging for the WWE Championship. That means something, right? And then Riddick Moss beat him. He beat him on television. So they had plans for him, and then obviously the pandemic happened, and by all accounts, he took some time off of television because he's got a close family member that was immunocompromised, and he was taking care of them or something. So that was the situation with him. Crowd are chanting for McIntyre. Remember, it is Falls Count Anywhere. But in comes Happy Corbin. Out comes Happy Corbin. Well, I guess 201. I tell you now, if this is how they debut Cody Rhodes, oh my goodness. If they debut Cody Rhodes in a Madcap Moss match, I will just about laugh my head off. Because they did used to be tag team partners. They used to be tag team champions. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are former tag team champions. Could you imagine if that's how they returned Cody Rhodes? Was in a Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss match. I would look at Cody Rhodes and say, well, you know what you're getting yourself in for, brother? Get back. First feud is with Happy Corbin. I kind of hope it happens, to be honest. Well, Happy Corbin's getting chased off by Drew McIntyre. Happy Corbin, he's leaving. He's gone. Happy Corbin's gone. Oof. Madcap Moss tried to catch him. It was a big boot to the face. Oof. Drew McIntyre sends Madcap Moss into the set. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, by the way, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well. Bottom right-hand corner if you're new. Only 19 subscribers away from 6,300. Happy Corbin's back. Double suplex on the stage. The person who's piping in the noise was a bit late on that one. Ash says, please tell me Cody isn't going to save Drew from Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin beatdown. Tell me it's not true. I hope not, but honestly, I'm thinking about it now. I think it's a very real possibility. I really do, which is horrifying. Edward says, do you think we'll see Cody tonight? I mean, it's possible. Kenny Omega said that he thought he was on a plane to Saudi Arabia. I don't know if he is or not, but it's possible. It's very possible. Madcap Moss posing to the crowd. Crowd boos. I mean, if Cody Rhodes does return... if Cody Rhodes does return tonight, it's the biggest story coming out of the show. Not Reigns beating Goldberg, not the, WWE Championship change that I think is going to happen in the Elimination Chamber match. It'd be huge. I think there's a possibility we could see it on Raw on Monday. Maybe not this event. It's something WWE certainly has in the locker right now. I mean, what I would like to see, to be honest with you, is McIntyre defeat them both with ease. So McIntyre beats Madcap Moss. He also hits a Claymore on Happy Corbin. And he just transitions into a feud with Cody, maybe at WrestleMania. Two tag team partners going together. That's something, I guess. Oh, God, could you imagine? Could you imagine? McIntyre overthrow to Madcap Moss. He's now in the corner. Oof. Oh, McIntyre going to go with the reverse Alabama slam. Oh, my goodness. Madcap Moss just landed on the top of his head. That was so nasty. He tucked his chin. Oh, my goodness. He could have been paralyzed. That was so nasty. It's one of those things that the instinct as a pro wrestler, whenever you take any bump, is always tuck your chin to protect the back of your head. But it's the other way round. And he tucked his chin and he landed on the top of his head. Oh, belly to belly on the outside. My God, that was horrible. That was nasty. Really nasty. Oof. I can't believe like Madcap Moss hasn't broken his neck or anything like that. Look at this replay. Oh my God. How he doesn't break his neck is horrible. Oh, steel chair to the back by Happy Corbin. I can't believe... honestly, that was so scary. Oh, McIntyre thrown through the barricade. Barricade didn't really break as well. Cover. 2. Oh, Drew McIntyre kicks out. Man, I'm telling you, if Madcap Moss doesn't have this thick neck, man, that could have been that could have been really, really bad. And the match has been violent as all anything. Moss is going to the top rope, it seems like. I just hope it's one of those situations where he feels fine. I hope it isn't one of those situations where he feels fine now and then he finds out afterwards that he's concussed or maybe something worse to his neck. Because his neck literally went like that. It was scary. What a chop by McIntyre. The match hasn't been terrible, must be said. McIntyre setting up for a superplex. Superplex by McIntyre to Moss. Cover. Ooh, and Riddick Moss kicks out at 2. Or as they say, Madcap Moss. Surprised McIntyre jumped. Usually he sort of just fall and then jump differently. This is the frustrating thing, isn't it? The gimmick that Madcap Moss has is just so bad, it's awful. But he's got a great look. He's a decent worker. He works hard, but he just has the worst gimmick. Oof! Chop to the face. Moss goes for a backslide. Goes for the stack up. Oh, McIntyre rolls through. He's going to roll 2 into a future shark DDT. Another thing on his head. Oh my goodness. Oof. He tried to wave the sword at Happy Corbin. He tried to cut his head off. He's got the sword in his hand. 2, 1. He's going to go for a claymore with the sword. I mean, it would have been worth maybe, using the sword as a weapon. Foot on the chest. 2, 3. Drew McIntyre gets the victory. Well, that was good. That was a good match. I mean, nobody thought Madcap Moss was going to win. I mean, how Madcap Moss hasn't broken his neck, I don't know. But, oh my goodness. That was scary stuff. And again, it looks like we're going to get Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, which is scary. Thought it would be. McIntyre issues a warning to Happy Corbin. Pyro for Drew McIntyre. Like I said, that was better than I thought it was going to be, at least. I mean, the biggest surprise coming out with that one is that, how Madcap Moss hasn't broken his neck. That was crazy. Like, actually crazy. How he didn't break his neck. My goodness. Drew McIntyre celebrating with the crowd, saying he loves it. There's Steve Austin, Broken Skull Sessions. Is he coming back to wrestle? Can you imagine? Steve Austin with Ron Simmons. They're doing What and Dams. That's airing after Elimination Chamber. I still can't believe Austin's going to come back and wrestle. Like, there's no way. There is no way. They're showing a replay of the... They're showing a replay of the match on the kickoff show earlier this evening. Which, of course, Rey Mysterio won. Only 18 subscribers away as well from 6,300. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I'm still kind of I'm just looking at some pictures of Madcap Moss landing on his neck. Oh my goodness. It was terrifying. We're seeing the double 619. How the Mysterios did to The Miz. Seeing the splash. Basically seeing this entire match at this point. Sad seeing all of the performance full replay. Oh, there's The Miz once again backstage with Kevin Patrick. The Miz telling Kevin Patrick to shut up. Saying his legendary Rey Mysterio. He's saying he cheated his way to victory after help from his son Dominic. Saying he was outnumbered. He's saying he's going to find himself a tag team partner. He's got... There's no way. Find a tag team partner. The Miz is going to find a tag team partner. A global... Won't be... Surely that's not going to be Cody Rhodes' return as the Miz's tag team partner, right? Can you imagine if that's Cody Rhodes' return as the Miz's tag team partner? As the Miz's tag team partner to feud with the Mysterios. Honestly, that would be that would be ridiculous. I'm telling you, if Cody Rhodes' return is as the Miz's tag team partner in a feud against Rey and Dominic Mysterio, he'd be looking around going, come on. Here we go, though. Raw Women's title match is up next. Raw Women's Championship match is next. I tell you, honestly, if I'm still kind of reeling from that potentially could be Cody Rhodes' return. Oh my god. But it's going to be our first singles match in 16 years, Lita. That's a big deal. A real big deal. But here comes Becky Lynch, her opponent. Big time Bex, as she refers to herself. Ash brings up a good point. It has to be Cody unless they re-signed Morrison. That is a good point. Again, if it was, I still can't get my head around that. Potentially Cody Rhodes. But again, my response would be, well, you know what you're getting yourself in for. And again, he left WWE because Vince McMahon perceived him as a mid-carder. He comes back. What does he come back to? A mid-card tag team feud with The Miz and the Mysterios. And don't get me wrong, The Miz and Rey Mysterio are both former world champions, but that's a mid-card feud. That's like a nothing feud. That would be just our madness. It can't be. They've got to go somewhere else because if they did, I would be just flabbergasted. Becky Lynch versus Lita. Who thought we'd ever get this? Look at those glasses Becky Lynch has got going on. Becky Lynch versus Lita. As if Spurs have just scored again. I can't believe it. Spurs have just scored. Oh, it's craziness. Here we go. This is a big one.
dream match settings, guys. I'll put the who leaves as Raw. Harry Kane scored against Man City. Unbelievable. Bell rings, we're underway. Harry Kane is on side as well. Well, Becky Lynch going for a disarmer straight away. Oof. Lita counters. Lita side headlock. Throws her into the ropes. Ooh, shoulder tackle by Lita. Crowd chanting, let's go Lita. I mean, Becky Lynch is in that territory now, I guess, where it's like she's a heel, but she still gets a reaction because she's Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, I was trying to be nice to you, now you're going to laugh at me. I did mention this earlier. You have to think, like, what's the quality of this match going to look like? Again, Becky Lynch is a decent worker, but she's better promo and character. Lita, look, it's her first singles match in 16 years. Crowd chanting, you still got it. They've barely done anything in the match. The crowd chanting, you still got it. We'll wait and see. Of course she still does, but it's like, come on. Hurricane Runner by Lita. Going for a twist of fate. Oof. Becky Lynch pushes Lita into the corner. Oof. Reverse elbow. Kick to the gut. Becky Lynch saying, that's why I'm the champion. Becky, oof. Goes over the top. Oh, slingshot over the top rope. Whiplash. Of course, Lita does have the history of neck injuries. Has a broken neck at one point. I see some people on social media saying that possibly the Miz's tag team partner could be Logan Paul. That might be a better option. Because imagine if it was Cody Rhodes. Could you imagine? Becky Lynch with boots to the face of Lita, boots to the neck. Of course, that surgically repaired neck. Smash a like on the like button. Only 3 likes away from 70. You could be the 70th like, but you're also sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned, we're about 15 subscribers away from 6,300. David Burke says, they're loud in this match. I hear the shots being called. Me too. I've heard a couple of them very loudly. Becky Lynch is going to the John Cena school of responding to, of calling spots. Lita charges into the corner. Becky Lynch reverse elbow. Spinning kick to the gut. Throws Lita to the outside. Crowd chanting, let's go Lita. Oh, another spinning kick to the gut. Becky Lynch putting on a clinic, it seems like. Goes for guillotine leg drop. Didn't get all of it, as they would say. Cover. Lita kicks out. Oh, Spurs should have scored again, but they didn't.
Becky Lynch slowing things down, seemingly here. A bit of news, by the way, when it comes to Madcap Moss. I know, obviously, myself and a lot of people were a bit concerned when it came to his well-being, certainly. Sean Ross Sapp is just reporting that, quote, "We're told that Madcap Moss seems fine going through the curtain. Good news, but I'm sure they're going to do plenty to make sure of that." So, yeah, it was a really nasty spot. That could have been really, really bad. Becky Lynch going to go for a Bexploder suplex. Or counted into a DDT. Counted into a DDT. Lita with an opportunity here. Goes for that Bexploder. Oof, DDT. Well, the question is, are we going to get that Lita salt? Oh, what a save by Hugo Lloris. Lee with a right hand. Becky Lynch with a right hand of her own. And another one. Getting the boos and yes spots when it comes to the right hands. Oof. Bit of miscommunication there. Lita hits the ropes. And a clothesline. Another one. Lita goes into the corner. Oh, clothesline. Oof. Kick to the face. Oh, look at that. Nice move by Lita. Just going to go to the top rope. Or the second rope. Crossbody. Cover. Becky Lynch kicks out at 2. Becky Lynch, once again, obviously talking to the referee and Lita. Becky calling her spots, like I said, like John Cena. Drop down, arm drag. Go for a twist of fate. Oh, Becky Lynch now going to go for the disarmer. Roll through by Lita. Oh, a counter of her own. Another roll through. Becky Lynch goes out. Lynch grabbing the ropes. Lita's got a sleeper hold, seemingly. Oh, powerbomb by Lita to Becky Lynch. Goes for a cover. 2. Becky kicks out at 2. I don't think, by the way, we'll just get some more news when it comes to who the Miz's partner is going to be. It probably is going to be Logan Paul, one would think, as opposed to Cody Rhodes. But I see some people trying to mock people saying, "Oh, you thought it was Cody Rhodes." That's how we view WWE at this point, right? That's the state of WWE creative, is that you wouldn't put it past them. Rolls Becky Lynch into the ring. Becky Lynch now rolls out to the apron. Lita's got a... Oh, once again, another whiplash by Becky Lynch. Once again, going on that surgically repaired neck. Now, Becky's going to go to the top rope, seemingly. Oh, Lita meets her on the top. What's Lita thinking? Oh, goes for the Trish Stratus. Goes to the Trish Stratus spot. And here we go. He's now going to go for Twist of Fate. Oh, beautiful. 2. Becky Lynch kicks out at 2. That's a nice little almost version of the stroke by Jeff Jarrett. Now Lita's going to go up for the moonsault. Edward James says Logan Paul's just going to promote his drink primer. I think so. I think that's probably what they're going for. But again, I know some people would like mock. Oh, Disarmer's locked in. Is she going to tap out? Again, I know some people are like, oh, you thought it was going to be Cody and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's a point of like, yeah, it's a bad idea. Of course, it's a terrible idea, but I don't put anything past WWE Creative. That's the point. Becky, manhandle slam to Lita. 2. Oh, Lita gets her foot on the bottom rope. Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. I mean, it's not a bad match. I would describe it as awesome. Becky Lynch has a sort of a weird situation recently. Like the match at Doudrop felt a bit flat. This one doesn't feel as flat, but they've been in difficult spots. I think that's the problem. Both of them. As you see, the manhandle slam. Lita got her foot on the bottom rope. It's been okay. Becky Lynch questioning herself, seemingly. Only 1 like away, by the way, from 70 likes. So if you haven't already, smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Becky Lynch looking towards the top rope. Is Becky Lynch going to go for a Lita assault of herself? No way would she do a moonsault. No way. Is Becky Lynch, has she got a moonsault? Oh, Becky Lynch did a moonsault like it was me going for a moonsault. Lita's going to go for a twist of fate. Lita's going to go to the top rope. Lita's going up top. Lita's going up top for the Lita assault. She's going to hit it. She hits it. She nails it. 1, 2. Oh, Becky kicks out. She absolutely nailed the moonsault. Nailed it. Credit to Lita. She absolutely nailed that moonsault. That was awesome. Lita, oh, manhandle slam once again. 2, 3, Becky Lynch defeats Lita. Just. That finish came out of nowhere. Then Lita hits the moonsault and then Becky Lynch hits the manhandle slam. Game over. Was a good moonsault though, certainly. But Becky Lynch gets the victory. Becky Lynch retains. To retain the Raw Women's Championship. Again, and credit to Lita, because I think that match built and it got better. I think at times Lita might have looked a little bit blown up, a little bit gassed. But again, the moonsault, she 100% she nailed it. But there you go, it's confirmed. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. No way, Tottenham has scored again. It's 3-1. Oh my God. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 38. Miles offside. Crowd are chanting for Lita in what surely will be the final match of her career. Oh, it's offside. Woohoo! They're telling her to go back to the turnbuckle. We're seeing the story of The Undertaker being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Listen to that pop. Oh. I mean, if you wanted to hear my thoughts, by the way, on The Undertaker being announced for the WWE Hall of Fame, I did do a video on that. It's on the channel. Be sure to check that out. Again, we're only one like away from 70 likes, so be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. As we're seeing this Undertaker Hall of Fame tribute package. We have an update when it comes to an update about the partner of The Miz, by the way. This is being reported by Fightful on Fightful Select. As I mentioned, Miz has noted that he's looking for a partner to help him even the odds with the Mysterios. Upon asking, Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that neither Cody Rhodes or John Morrison is being considered or discussed. Instead, it's planned to be a celebrity integration for the show. PW Insider is reporting that Logan Paul has been discussed, which Fightful is also reporting. One source has told Fightful that WWE wants to go, quote, all out to sell out both nights of the show, and to expect that to be the case for the 2-night WrestleMania shows that happen to be moving forward. So it looks like, as some had guessed, the Miz's tag team partner is not going to be Cody Rhodes or John Morrison. It's actually going to be Logan Paul. PW Insider and Fightful both reporting that the pitch has been made for Logan Paul to be the Miz's tag team partner. Likely for a match at WrestleMania, possibly the Miz and Logan Paul going up against the Mysterios. As we're seeing this video package of The Undertaker and the Hall of Fame. And it wouldn't be a Undertaker tribute package without Metallica playing. As I saw that for a second there, I saw the wings. The Survivor Series bat wings of The Undertaker. Getting the American Badass version of The Undertaker as well. I know, obviously, the Phenom. I know, obviously, it's the Undertaker. The dead man is the character, but I still loved the American Badass. It was just perfect for the Attitude Era, and then coming back to it, WrestleMania 20. What a moment! The streak, and then it was broken by Brock. I said if there was ever a guy that you were going to have a Hall of Fame induction ceremony and there was going to only be one guy that to be inducted that year, would be The Undertaker in his home state of Texas. Good Morning Britain. Good Morning Britain clip in the on WWE television. I bet you never thought you'd see that. Well, it's funny that they're showing, they're saying, The Undertaker, all these celebrity appearances. Pretty much the majority of those celebrity appearances that he's just been showing have happened in the last year. Since he sort of broke kayfabe. Because he never used to. He never used to do interviews. Now he does. Obviously, this video package is unbelievable. And because it's got a bit of Metallica. You can't be a bit Metallica, can you? Crowd chanting for The Undertaker. Can you blame him? It's an icon. Obviously. I don't think he's there. He might be. So the Undertaker will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The crowd, the music was playing. The music was playing. They thought the Undertaker was going to come out. Tickets are available on Tuesday. SmackDown tag team title matches are next. It's funny. They just have a Undertaker announcement, and people thought the Undertaker was going to come out, and they followed that with a raid. Crowd as flat as anything. But SmackDown tag team titles are up next. We've got this match, and then we've got the Elimination Chamber match, obviously. So the match been relatively quick, actually. Who leaves as SmackDown Tag Team Champions? Oh, the Usos have attacked him. Matchup isn't even underway, and the Usos have attacked the Viking Raiders. They're making sure that this match isn't going to go the way we think it's going to, obviously. Oh, super kick to the face of Ivar. They're going to go for Erik as well. Double super kick to Erik. Before the match has even begun. It's a suplex on the floor. This match doesn't even look like it's going to happen. So we're not even going to get the match. So this attacked the Viking Raiders before the match even begun. So we're not getting it. They flew all the guys over there to not have a match. Wow. We're not even getting a match. So they're making their entrance, and out come the Usos, and they're just like, no, we're not going to go for that. When they see the suplex of Ivar onto Erik. Well, there you go. Match not happening. What was the point of that? That's good. Well, the poll was redundant. I imagine, the thing is as well, like they'll get an unbelievable payday. If you're like the Viking Raiders, you'd have got maybe the biggest payday of the year, and you just don't do the match. So dumb. And it's just, oh,
Also, as well, it's not as if like they were attacked by like weapons or anything like that. The Viking Raiders got a couple of super kicks and a suplex to the outside, and they're just so we're not having the match. They're unable to compete. Obviously, they can't compete. So I guess what's coming up next has got to be the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match, unless we have a big Cody segment or something like that. Otherwise, I don't really know what's happening. We're getting a Seth Rollins promo vignette package. The heist of the century. All that kind of jazz. Seth Rollins has done it all. WWE Champion, Universal Champion, United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Royal Rumble winner, Soul Survivor. Technically a WrestleMania main eventer as well. Did this happen because they were running out of time? I don't know. I was thinking that, but I don't think there's a limit. I don't think. Unless it's a case of something going on over there, but not that I'm aware of. It's got a quick time, the show. I mean, the show started at 5 over here. It's 2 hours 15, and we're going into main event settings, which will be... I mean, that'll be at least 45 minutes, I suppose, 40-ish. So they'll be done... Maybe they have to be... It's we've got to be done by a certain time over there. I don't know. I can't believe Spurs are beating Man City as well. But WrestleMania is the next premium live event, 6 weeks from today. Stupendous. Michael Cole looks like he's going to have like a heart attack. He's going crazy on commentary. Hyping up WrestleMania. They've got Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, of course. We know we've got Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, Raw Women's Championship. We know we've got Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. It's just a case of, is it going to be title versus title? That's true, Ash. I forgot about that. It seems like a million years ago, doesn't it? But yeah, Spurs beat Man City opening weekend of the season, didn't they? Of course. But coming up next is the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber. So this is the one. Who's going to be leaving as WWE Champion? Let me know your predictions in the free seats in the comment section. What's going on here? Are they claiming a penalty? Does hit his arm. His arm's up as well. That could be handball. They're doing the promo package for this Elimination Chamber main event. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let's do a quick subscriber check. We were aiming for 6,300.
We're only 15 away. Only 15 subscribers away. Always going to the screen. So that means he's going to give it. He's going to give the penalty. This is what you get. It's what you get with me. We're getting an Elimination Chamber watch along, but we're technically getting a Man City versus Tottenham watch along too. He's got to give it. It is handball. It's handball. Yeah. Penalty. He has give it. It's frustrating, but he has his hand up like that. So we're getting... Did he give the penalty? Or has he ruled it out? What have they stopped doing? What's going on? I can't hear the TV because I've got the pay-per-view going, so I'm not really sure what's happening. It is a penalty. What were they going crazy for? I don't know. Mahrez. Well, we need Spurs to drop points, unfortunately. Seeing Austin Theory on the screen right now. It's drama. First ever time Brock Lesnar's been in Elimination Chamber, of course. Here comes Mahrez. That's a great penalty. 2-2. I tell you what, that match they had, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, they beat the hell out of each other. But here comes Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley isn't going to be starting the match. Be interesting to see if Brock starts the match, won't it? But there he is. There's Bobby Lashley. No MVP, seemingly. WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match is next. So Bobby Lashley first out. Could be a very short title reign for Bobby Lashley, seemingly. Oh my goodness, Spurs have scored. I can't believe it. Oh my God. I can't believe Spurs have scored. Oh my God. can't believe that. Out comes AJ Styles. Carl Walker, what are you doing? Out comes AJ Styles. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. I still can't believe that. Shit. Ah. Be sure to smash a like on the like button for my pain as a United fan. So AJ Styles is not going to start the match along with Bobby Lashley. A reminder that we will be doing a Elimination Chamber post reaction show. We'll also be doing a No Surrender watch along and post show this evening as well. AJ Styles firing up the crowd. Who do we think is going to leave this one? Again, usually I would do a poll, but we cannot because we don't have enough options. Out comes Riddle. Riddle and his scooter is in Saudi Arabia. Referees holding the WWE Championship outside the chamber. I can't believe that. That's such put me in a bad mood, this Spurs result. I can't believe it. So we have AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, and Riddle all in their pods. Oof. Look at Riddle. Look how happy he is. Here comes Austin Theory. Austin Theory's not starting. So we know Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins are starting this match. Wow. I mean, imagine if Austin Theory wins, by the way. He won't, but imagine he does. Austin Theory taking some selfies outside the chamber. Now he's taking selfies of everyone in the chamber pods. Spurs won. Can't believe it. Riddle's happy with the selfie. He's taking selfies with everyone. That is tremendous. Out comes Seth Rollins. Seth Freakin Rollins, sorry, excuse me. Seth Rollins' second ever Elimination Chamber appearance, by all accounts. Out comes Seth Rollins doing his dancing, his laughing. Crowd singing along. Bobby Lashley giving everyone evils from his pod. Even my skybox is telling me to turn it off. We're going into standby. We can't take that Spurs of one. Me either. It looks like Austin Theory might be starting there. They're doing the same thing that they did with Alexa Bliss, in that the entrances don't match people who are going into the pod. Interesting. So it looks like Rollins and Theory are actually going to start the match, and Lesnar's going to be in the pod. Man, listen to that reaction. Brock's so over, isn't he? He's so popular. Here comes the Beast. Brock Lesnar is coming out. Listen to the pop. He's so over, isn't he? Babyface Brock. Cowboy Brock. Whatever you want to call him. 2022 Royal Rumble winner. Bobby Lashley's furious. Here comes babyface Brock, cowboy Brock, ponytail Brock. He blew on the chamber pod. Trying to squeeze through. Brock Lesnar being himself is just the best, isn't it? Brock Lesnar is inside the elimination. Crowd are chanting Lesnar. Are we gonna get Riddle versus Brock finally? Here we go. Austin Theory and Seth Rollins are starting off the Elimination Chamber match. It's main event time. Are we going to see a new WWE champion? I think we are. Seth Rollins ducks under Austin Theory to start this one off. Theory hits the ropes. Rollins with a leapfrog. Ducks under the clothesline, hitting all sides of the ring. Beautiful sling blade by Seth Rollins to Austin Theory to start this one off. Smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Less than 15 subscribers to go until 6,300. 12 subscribers to go, until 6,300. So if you are new, be sure to subscribe. See if we can hit our target for this evening. Fall away slam by Theory. Oh, beautiful variant of a back suplex to Seth Rollins. Theory goes for a clothesline to Rollins over the top rope. Throws Rollins to the floor. Oh, floats over with a stomp to the chest. Reverts that into a beautiful fisherman suplex. Cover. Rollins kicks out at 1. Gets Rollins up on the shoulder. Oh, kick to the knee. Oh, super kick to the face of Austin Theory as well. Crowd chanting, burn it down. Oh. Oh, throws Austin Theory into the fence. And again. Oh, big forearm to the face of Austin Theory too. It's got Theory up in the air. Oh, power bomb. So he actually broke the pod. Oh my God. Seth Rollins, he powerbombed Austin Theory into the pod, and he broke the glass, and it's actually gone through the pod onto Bobby Lashley. I think Lashley was staring at Lesnar. The countdown is on. The referee's checking on Bobby Lashley. Who's going to be coming in next? I mean, Bobby Lashley could be next. That might be what they try and do. It's Riddle. Riddle comes in next. Riddle enters the Elimination Chamber. Oh, final flash kick by Riddle. And again. Remember when Seth Rollins was like, I'm not working with Riddle? Broton. Riddle goes over the top rope. Goes for another Broton. The pod, by the way, the chamber is open because the doctors are checking on Bobby Lashley, which would imply we're going to get to some kind of spot. Shenanigans are afoot, I think. Rollins sends Riddle into the corner. Oh, reverse elbow. Seth Rollins crotches Riddle on the top. Riddle's in the Tree of Woe. Stomps to the chest. So we've got the doctors and medical team and WWE officials checking on Bobby Lashley too. Adam Pearce is inside the Elimination Chamber. There's definitely shenanigans. Something's happening. They're doing an angle. Ooh, Seth Rollins really nearly landed on his head. Riddle's trying to climb up to the top of the pod. Oh, they're going to go for a reverse. Beautiful reverse suplex from the top rope to the inside of the ring by Seth Rollins to Riddle. It's going to go for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, Riddle kicks out. So Bobby Lashley's being taken outside of the chamber. What are they planning? They're doing some kind of injury angle where Bobby Lashley, they're showing the replay. So Seth Rollins does a buckle bomb to Theory through the pod and hits Bobby Lashley. So they're playing up that Bobby Lashley is injured. Frog splash by Rollins. And Riddle kicks out. We're getting someone else to enter the match. So we've got Theory on the outside. We've got Riddle and Rollins in the middle. We've got Bobby Lashley's on the outside. So who's it going to be? It's AJ Styles. In comes AJ Styles. Still no eliminations at this point. Only 2 likes away from 75 likes, by the way. So if you haven't already, be sure to smash a like. And be sure to subscribe. Oh, beautiful face first suplex by AJ Styles to Riddle. Riddle kicks out at 2. Styles. Let's go for a torture rack. Oh, a beautiful rack bomb. Rollins kicks out at 2 also. Brock Lesnar still bouncing in his pod. Brock Lesnar is going to be the next person to enter the match. Unless, obviously, they said that Bobby Lashley would have been the next entrant. I suppose they could do that also. I think they might do that. Imagine this is how Cody Rhodes returns. I'm entering the match. You never know. Anything's possible at this point. Dragon Screw leg whip by AJ Styles to Riddle. Lesnar's just smiling at AJ Styles. He's got Riddle on the top rope. He's going to go with, I guess, some kind of a back suplex, possibly. Now Styles is going into Riddle, seemingly. Oh, they're going to go with, I guess they're going to go with a Tower of Doom, seemingly. Beautiful Tower of Doom. Nice. Got Riddle going for that. Ooh, kicks out. Riddle throws Seth Rollins to the outside. It's going to go for a DDT. I still think something fishy is going to happen. Or Riddle's going to go for a draping DDT. Oh, draping DDT. Paying homage to Randy Orton. He's firing up. He's going to go for his version of an RKO. Here comes Brock. Brock and Riddle. Riddle's got everyone down and Brock's about to come into the match, which isn't good. Oh, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley should be entering. Brock isn't happy. Brock's coming through. Brock's in the match. Oh, Brock's not happy. He's had enough. Brock Lesnar. He's going to go for an F5. F5. F5 by Brock. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is eliminated. Bobby Lashley is not going to be in this match. F5. 1, 2, 3. Out goes Riddle. 2 are gone. Oh, spine buster to AJ Styles. Who's left in the match? Austin Theory and AJ Styles. So Bobby Lashley's eliminated, by the way. Bobby Lashley's been eliminated due to concussion protocol. So he's been taken out. So we've only got AJ Styles or Austin Theory. We're guaranteed to have a new WWE champion. I mean, which means surely they're protecting Bobby for something. So I would think that they're going to do Brock versus Bobby again at some point. Lesnar F5 to AJ Styles. AJ Styles to AJ Styles is gone. So it's just it's just Brock Lesnar and Austin Theory left. We're gonna have a new champion in about 3 seconds, guys. So the match is gonna be over in a minute. it's going to be over. We're going to have a new WWE champion. Austin Theory's trying to leave. The door's just being locked. Now Brock's taking off the gloves. Austin Theory, I think he's about to pee his pants. I mean, literally, Brock Lesnar he's kicked his way out of the chamber. F5 to Rollins, gone. F5 to Riddle, gone. F5 to AJ Styles, gone. I mean, talk about putting the main guy over. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar's coming through the pod. Oh my God, what a suplex to Austin Theory on the outside. He's beating the hell out of Austin Theory. Brock's taking no prisoners. Oh my God. Man. And now he's just going to destroy him. Oh, low blow by Austin Theory. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Austin Theory beat Brock? No way. Austin Theory maybe has a chance. What's he going to do? Rolls through. Drop kick to the face of Brock Lesnar. DDT. No way. 1, 2, and Brock kicks out. Could you imagine? Brock just looks angry. Theory says, no, I didn't mean it. Brock Lesnar looks unhappy. Lesnar is staring through Austin Theory, and Austin Theory's trying to run away again. Theory's climbing. Where's he going? Theory's climbing to the top of the chamber. What's he doing? And Brock Lesnar is scaling the Elimination Chamber too. He's got him. What are they doing? Austin Theory is pleading. He's scaling the cage. Oh, just slamming. Oh, he's bouncing his face off the side of the Elimination Chamber. Oh my God. What's Brock about to do? I'm nervous because I think he's going to kill Austin Theory. Crowd are chanting Suplex City. What is he going to do? Oh my God. He's got him up for an F5. Not on the top of the pod. Oh my God. He just F5'd him off the top of the pod. Oh my God. Oh my God. Brock Lesnar is literally King Kong come to life. Just F5'd him off the top of the pod. He's picked him, just threw him. Oh my goodness. Goes for a cover. Hooks the leg. 2, 3. Brock Lesnar is the new WWE champion once again. And now he's doing the selfie. Oh my God. New WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. And he did the... Brock Lesnar is the WWE champion, and he's going to head to WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar is locked in for WrestleMania, and now it's going to be title versus title. Champion versus champion is happening at WrestleMania. Title versus title, winner take all. Title versus title is happening. Wow. Brock Lesnar is a 10-time WWE champion. Oh my God. He just kicked his way out of the pod. And then out he came and just attacked Austin Theory. My God. And then just beat the hell out of him. Just destroyed Austin Theory. Oh my goodness. And then F5'd him off the chamber. Oh my goodness. So we have a new WWE champion. It's title versus title at WrestleMania. You're seeing this F5 off the top of the chamber. Oh my God. As we said, now that we know it's title versus title at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar is the new WWE champion. Could he be holding both titles at the end of WrestleMania? Brock Lesnar taking selfies with the fans. Once again, they're showing the graphic. Champion versus champion. Title versus title. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. It's been an incredible week, they're saying. Well, that is it, guys. I will be back in a couple of minutes' time for the post-show reaction stream. A lot to get into. Brock Lesnar is the new WWE champion. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. You won't have to go anywhere. This is going to send you straight to the next stream. I'll speak to you again very, very soon.